Welcome to the first March of 2024. It is Tuesday, January 2nd, and we're gonna march to the mountain, from the rock to the mountain in these steel toe boots. From the rock. From my neighborhood to a bigger rock, the Mountain Mount Royal. It is 2:59 p.m. and first March of 2024, yours truly, Rainbow Dragon marching. Today, as always, for the greatest woman on the universe, on the planet, my anonymous sister friend, and today's special, go PWHL, go PWHL, go PWHL, go. That is for that special professional women's hockey league. Yours truly, a fan of women's sports and an encourager and somebody who calls for the mass financing for the NFL to triple the cheerleader salaries. Please, you know I love football, I love hockey, love basketball. Actually, dancing is my favorite sport. Nobody dances like yours truly, HHH. So we're gonna go from my neighborhood all the way to the mountain on this 2nd of January 2024. As always, gonna say my gratitude. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid. Paid my rent, paid my electricity bill, and got food, got coffee, got tea. I didn't eat much because yesterday I ate, but need when I come back. So anyways, for food security starts with the farmers. Here I am, starting from the rock, going to a bigger rock. It's about -2 degrees. And, as always, rock and roll 24/7. As always, ask me artist, athlete, Rainbow Dragon is rock and roll 24/7. Go PWHL, go Professional Women's Hockey League, and I'm gonna be cheering for that Montreal team, you know, and I'm excited. I saw a little bit of the first match. Toronto, we got 6 teams, and just started this yesterday on the 1st for the first game of the Professional Women's Hockey League, that Go PWHL special event, and always including the farmers. Food security starts with them, construction workers, the butchers, the bakers, the nurses, the doctors, the grocery store clerks, and all involved in the production and the distribution of food. Support this independent Aspie artist, this dream, manifesting as the dancing goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. Right here from this Quebec, Canada, North America. Many past lives, many incarnations, rock and roll 24/7. Go skate, skate, my sisters on the skates. For that PWHL, skate on, my sisters on the skates. For that PWHL, skate, my sisters on the skates. On that PWHL, and I saw the review, like highlights, and played a great game, and I can't wait for Montreal to play. I think tonight, right? Tonight when I go back, I'm gonna check the game, but I think I have it on the channels, sports channels. I might have to see just the highlights. But anyways, here we are going to the mountain by the side and rock and roll through my neighborhood all the way to the mountain and back. From here to the mountain is about 8 kilometers, and coming back another 8 and doing there overtime every time. It is what time it is? 3:03 p.m. Time to say my gratitude again as I march on these steel toes. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid, electricity bill's paid, and got food, and loving me some of these decorations. Today on the 2nd of January for the first marching rock and roll event. We're gonna rock and roll today. Special dedication for the women's hockey new league. I'm excited. They got some financing and XYZ, and I'll be cheering, gonna support it. And of course, I call for alliances with my initiatives, which are fundamentally a public-private partnership, as I'm an independent Aspie artist, athlete, philosopher, that Rainbow Dragon rock and roll for my sisters on the ice. I love to skate, but unfortunately, I am not too good at breaking, so best if I dance and cheerlead and do my marching step in steel-toe boots while admiring my sisters, citizens of North American Professional Women's Hockey League, which quite good, quite love the rock and roll. I can't wait to see Montreal and what is going to be happening. And I'm calling on my also brothers, of course, from my understanding of a little bit of finances, they got some good, unprecedented financing. I'm still learning every day, but nonetheless, for a women's sports leagues to get a type of unionized contract deal, I think is good. And support the DGA Dancing Goddess Army for the DGA and that DGA Dancing Goddess Army and the Dragon Army and blah blah blah. And gotta get rock and rolling. Watch you here. See if I cross the street. There's no stop sign here, so always got to be prudent. Turn your head left or right before you cross the street so that we make it in the street. That is, of course, comfortable enough to cross the street in a way which does not, of course, endanger us and our fellow citizens. And, of course, we got to get our rock and roll getting together and get a little bit of a hydration along the way if you work out, train, exercise, which I encourage you all. And watch for black ice like this, watch for black ice like this, watch for black ice like this, and because it's a bit slippery on the second and it can be a little bit slippery, and you got to look out for our safety and our safety, because of course I'm in the public. So once I'm in the public now, of course I've got added responsibilities, duties and obligations, and some of those added duties and responsibilities and obligations are to of course be prudent when I cross the street and turn my head left or right, and make sure that, of course, I cross the street prudently, safely, because I could have stayed indoors in my underground room off St. Temple, but you know, I love to stay active, and physical activity has been, is, and will continue to be my medicine and choice. And I want to hear on the radio, on the television, you know, encouragement of citizens to work out, train, exercise. There needs to be more cooperation in this regards, and you know, we can have competition. I'm all for a little bit of cooperative competition, you know, my own philosophies, and of course sharing if you make $1 million and finance women's sports leagues, which, as this is an event, go PWHL, go. My sister's on the skates. Rainbow Dragon gonna cheer you on, but like I said, I love skating, but I can't skate but cannot break too well, so just gonna skate on the sides and maybe cheer you on with my offering of whatever rock and roll and to support women's sports. And financially I'm struggling, $10,000, $500 in debt, but I'm open for business 24/7. And you know, I'm an Aspie, so I'm gonna repeat things twice, 3 times, having that Asperger's, you know. I'm an Aspie athlete, independent athlete, artist, and philosopher, and I carpe diem it every day, and I encourage you all in the fitness journey. And I always say your fitness journey starts today. Now your fitness journey begins. 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 Commences. Starts today. Now. With a walk, with a march, with a push-up, with a squat, with a rock and roll. Just get out there, get a little bit of that, you know, hydration, and get yourself a little bit of stretching, and just rock and roll. And you know, you start today and you increase tomorrow, and in a week, and your fitness journey goes on, and it starts today. That's always my dictum, my philosophy. My fitness journey starts today now. Right? So my fitness journey begin now. Today, as I died of COVID, I signaled January in about 61 days. It's gonna be February 2020 when I was sick and disease. I was struck by COVID. Right? For me, it was like death, pestilence, and disease. For me, it was like death, pestilence, and disease. For me, it was like pestilence, death, and disease. And now I'm being reborn. Like I always say, I don't want to go back to nothing. And I'm proud of this 2024, this PWHL, and I'm encouraged, of course, Professional Women's Hockey League. I think it's, for women's sports, it's a great advancement, and I'm surprised that it gotten some good financing, because it's been for years that I've been calling for the mass financing, and my brothers and sisters in the NFL, National Football League, tripled that cheerleader salaries, and NHL and NBA, and of course MLB. But myself financially cannot support it at the moment in time, but hey, I support it in my ways, by activity, by action, you know, because I like to put a little bit of action and doing to do things, not just philosophize and theorize, which I'm very good at, but I also like to take some of that action as I'm marching now to the mountain, and I'm a fan of construction workers, seeing this construction here, also meditating that all the buildings or the houses, apartment buildings, it's the workers of the construction. I'm a fan as well, as I'm a fan of women's sports. I'm also a fan, of course, of construction, you know. And we gotta be mindful because we're discussing about building more constructions, but first and foremost, it's our construction workers. Gotta be some cheering and rock and roll for them as well. And again, when you cross the street, turn your heads left and right, left and right, left and right. Do it 3 times, and just to make sure that, of course, you get safety on the road. Because now my responsibility, duties, and obligation, and the public are not the same as in my private layer. You know, I could have stayed in my private layer and rock and roll, tickled myself naked, but here I gotta wear clothes, and I gotta be prudent what I say with insulting liberties, our liberties. And I always say you can say anything, and you know, I like my BDSM. I'm androgynous, pansexual, gay, pansexual, androgynous, or pansexual, androgynous, gay, however you want to phrase those 3 words. I mean, this is what I am, just rainbow dragon, and that's just part of it. But you can say anything, but you're not allowed to make threats or XYZs, you know. So, look left and right. Even when there's a stop sign, like there's a stop sign there. So that's north-south. No, north-south. So north-south, there's a stop sign, but of course on this side there's no stop sign, right? So when you cross the street, turn your heads left or right, you know. And it's super important, just for added dimension of security. And I got the responsibility, duties, and obligation as a citizen, you know, to look left and right, make sure I stay on the right path, and go as I go to the mountain with this is my work, you know, working with this laptop and thinking, meditating, and being excited for the Professional Women's Hockey League, and excited that I think it's breakthrough, lots of first, starting yesterday, 1st of January, this first game. And my Montreal has a team, Montreal Hawk City, this home of mine, this Montreal here. Come visit with us, come dance with us on the mountain, sing and rock and roll for my American brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters in the USA. We got 3 teams on each side, and we got to get that dancing goddess DGA, Binational North America, and Dragon Army Public-Private Partnership North America. That's just like the Women's Hockey League. We got to get together. Because yours truly, Quebecer, Canadian, was born twice in the past lives. I believe I'm a mystic. So I believe in reincarnations, right? So I was born right there. I was born in the USA twice, post 1776, and I was born in the USA twice, post 1776. I was born in the USA twice, post 1776, and I served in the United States Army both those times when I was born in a past life, previous incarnation. That way, a little bit of that south, you know, not far from here. My brothers and sisters in Maine, all the way to New York. And got to mention, of course, I always mention Hydro-Quebec. I'm a fan of Hydro-Quebec workers who build those dams, which allows me to do this video with clean, zero pollution, zero emission energy. And those dams also connect New York. And maybe that Wall Street now, what time it is? 3:13, and buying, selling future stocks, option puts, Wall Street finance, some women's sports leagues. This is a call of this independent artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist, you know. He's to finance, because what is money? Money is to buy, sell, and, you know, they still got about 77 minutes until 4:30 to on the stock market to buy, sell, and in that black stock, you know, and other stocks. And Blackstone is a big institution, BlackRock, another one. Not to be confused, sometimes people confused. They're 2 different institutions, so calling on all financial institutions and to give more charity, especially for food security. Farmers, saluting the farmers, because since due to the fact that food security starts with our farmers, you know. Thank you, farmers, now for those squashes, which I like, for the cheese, the bakers, the butchers, the nurses. I always include y'all in my marches all the time. Farmers are always included, although of course today we're marching for a special celebration of the league known as the PWHL, the Professional Women's Hockey League, which of course has to be celebrated, encourage my sisters, you know, to get that good hockey. And I'm gonna be watching, and I'm gonna be loving it a little bit lots with my rock and roll style, you know, and tend to get a little bit excited, but gotta just Turn my head left and right to let them have fun. I'm allergic to some dogs. I sneeze, you know, but they're quite beautiful from afar. They're so big, but I like them. But if they get too close, those dogs, I know which ones make me sneeze and like the fur length, you know. So I start sneezing. I'm always aware they're not poodles. That's why I kind of took a little bit of turn, because if they were gonna jump. And well, thank you, merci. See, a fellow citizen driver is letting me priority here, but he's got a stop sign. But I did stop myself and check left and right, and then I saw and he cleared with a hand, and we looked at each other. So, you know, because just for safety, added safety when you're in the public, you know, and you got cars, because they can be fancy, $1 million cars, and you know, I like my Cadillacs. I don't own a car, I own these steel toe boots. This is what I'm driving steel toe boots. Not always, sometimes running shoes, but today, military grade US, made in both the US and Canada. Canada joined North America, support the PPP, public-private partnership, blah, 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 do some push-ups. Gratitude, 24/7. Civilization is a privilege, my brothers and sisters. And as I go drill it down, thinking about the truckers now, the nurses, the doctors, the firefighters, all those involved in the production and the distribution of food, you know, who distribute food now. Well, of course, millionaires, if you buy, sell, trade stocks, billionaires, millionaires and billionaires, of course, a billion is 1,000 million, and give some charity. And food security starts without farmers and food producers and all those in the fast food now, all across North America, Canada, US, Mexico. North Americans unite. And of course, today is all day. Go PWHL, go Professional Women's Hockey League, go. I saw highlights. I want to see if I can get the whole game, and from my understanding, it's already on YouTube, the official channel of the hockey league. And see, again, I gotta turn my head left and right if I cross the street. And of course, I see the big truck there. That's Public Works picking up the garbage. You know, gotta salute the public workers. You know, and those big trucks. We need new trucks. A lot of them stem from the 70s and 80s, and they need them. It's been 4 decades. We need some new ones for the 21st century. So Dragon Army calling for that, part of the initiative ongoing today. Carpe diem it every day, saluting those public workers of the cities. Montreal is a big city metropolis, 2.5 million people, you know, who pick up the garbage, pick up the compost. 3 services in my neighborhood: compost, recycling, and garbage. Garbage, compost, recycling. Garbage, compost, and recycling. And in the public, you know, they're going on that needs brain and muscle. You know, the strategy is going east, west, north, south, and you see the recycling bins here, and it's being picked up. It's part of the recycling day today, you know. You see this recycling bin is gonna come in the camera. My work tool here, the laptop. And of course, they're gonna be picking up, and it's Public Works. We need to be mindful of the Public Works. You know how it works. You gotta go see citizen integration theory. You gotta go see how it's done. We gotta support it. We gotta integrate across all levels. Public and private partnership is my dream. Support the dream, manifesting as the dancing goddess in the Dragon Kingdom. The public-private partnership, we gotta be grateful 24/7. Yeah, grateful I got an internet connection. I got paid my rent for the month of January. Paid my electricity bill. Got a phone, you know, I got a phone. Till the 12th. Then we gotta check House C, but you see, got 10 days. Rock and roll today's all I got. Carpe diem, grateful. Thinking about those who are gonna go. I'm gonna pick up the recycling, gonna pick up the compost, gonna pick up the garbage. They're there on the road, you know. I'll clean our streets and do a job for recycling, for Mother Nature, for the environment. It takes some brains and some muscle, right? Takes some doing. Takes some doing, and takes a little bit of theory, takes a little bit of brain, takes a little bit of muscle, and always LOVE. Because I love the PWHL, the Women's Hockey League, you know. I would donate from women's sports leagues financially, but I'm doing my marches, I'm doing my rock and roll, so I'm always dedicating. And yes, it's for me as well, because I keep fit. Fitness is important for me, makes me feel good to stay active, you know, active. And dancing, you know, that dancing is my favorite sport. Dance 24/7, rock and roll. Farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks. Thinking about those cleaning workers now, those cleaning, and they're taking the recycling, the garbage of cities across North America. From here, from Quebec, Canada, la belle province. And being mindful of my own, because I admit that some things I am mediocre, I admit that some things I am so-so, I admit that some things I am average. While being average, so-so, mediocre at some things, I'm also great, super and excellent, especially the things which, you know, as Aspies, people who have Asperger's, we're a tiny minority, less than half of a percentage. So 0.44 in 2020 percentage. So 1 out of 3, not even 1 out of 300. So not even 1 out of 300, not even 1 out of 300 have Asperger's. So I'm an Aspie, but I'm also an artist, an athlete, a philosopher, a geopolitical analyst, and theorist. And Aspies, we can be intense, and we have obsessions. My obsessions is the study of civilizations and geopolitics. So 24/7 geopolitics and the study of civilizations, right? Not only that, but sports. Dancing is my favorite sport. As you can see, hundreds of workout videos. Getting fit in a real, natural, raw way. You see my uncut, unedited videos just like this one and hundreds of them. Working on training, exercising. I can be pretty intense when I march because I consider marching my workout. But it's bringing me joy. And another obsession which I do have is I am also obsessed about public hygiene. So when I'm in public, and yes, I do get dirty, I still have to clean. My room's not always clean. I scrub the bowl. I scrubbed my toilet bowl earlier today. Don't worry about that. But see, I open carry this disinfectant, which is basically hand sanitizer, bacteria, germs, and microbes. It kills bacteria, germs, and microbes. It kills bacteria, germs, and microbes. So I carry it, and I open carry it with me, and it's gonna wait. Oh, there's a trail here. Oh yeah. Oh, this is nice. Discovered a new trail. Oh, this is so cool how it's done. See, you can go there. Wow, this is a nice trail. See? What? This is so cool. The air's fresh here. I love these big evergreens. See, there's a little trails. You can go by there and come there and go there in the middle. And hey, that's so cool. Very well made. I like that. So we discover new things every day, and I try to take different routes. Because to the mountain from my place, I live in NDG, right? So it's a few kilometers. And my team now, Professional Women's Hockey League of Montreal. Go, my sisters on those skates. I already wrote a rock and roll song for them. And see, this garbage is the public workers. And we got to be mindful of the public. Because we got to have that PPP. Sport of Dancing got us in the Dragon Kingdom for a public-private partnership. And everything that I do is a public-private partnership. And got to go work out a bit. And always feel good. And when I work out, and be mindful of the public sphere. And I got 10 seconds. 7. Should I rush? Yeah. Gonna step it up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, just in time. I made it just in time. That was a nice little rush there, but it wasn't that. I knew I was gonna get enough time to get it because I had like 9 seconds, so I was gonna till just in time. So a little sprint, you know, a little sprint. So, anyways, always feel good when I exercise, and now I feel so much better. See, if I would have stayed at home, I would have probably just sent some more CVs, and I'm starting fresh, new CV. As I said, I died during COVID, and again, see, turn your heads left and right when you cross the street, right? Because it can be dangerous. Because sometimes there's not the stop sign, and sometimes the corners are more dangerous. So anyways, rock and roll today march for the PWHL. HL for the women's hockey. I got to pick Montreal, although I'm a overall fan, and from my understanding, the finances got to learn more. Yeah, let me know if you made it this video. Nobody watching, but hey, this is my work and art and therapy, and I love it. And you gotta love, and love is by action as well. And when I died of COVID, I lived by LOV every day. Carpe diem, turn your heads left and right, and it always brings me fun and joy when I see somebody jogging like my fellow citizen, and it's always a good investment. I love to see other workout, train, exercise, and stay fit. See, like my fellow citizen there going on the little jog, and good for him. I salute, and he's going on his journey and his fitness journey, and it's a good work that you do and have in him, and will continue to call for the mass financing of citizens to work out, to train, to exercise by a public-private partnership. Let's go NFL National Football League. Let's go NHL National Hockey League. Let's go NBA National Basketball Association. Let's go MLB. We got to work out, train, exercise. We got to mass finance citizens to work out, train, exercise, mass finance. Because what is money anyway but to buy, sell, trade future stocks, options, puts, turn your heads left and right when you cross the street. See, like down there, I'm getting Westmount, and I always got to be thankful, and I say my gratitude again and again and again. Grateful, thankful today. What time is it? 3:25. Grateful, thankful that my rent's paid. Grateful, thankful that my electricity bill's paid. Grateful, thankful that I got food and coffee, and if I make a million, I'm gonna give half to my anonymous sister friend and greatest woman I know. And I asked a few times to marry me in an open BDSM switch marriage, but hey, everybody, let's get married, me, you, my anonymous sister, if she wills, and all North Americans. May all my allies and armies pledge your allegiance, legions of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom of the dancing goddess, and the dragon kingdom of the dancing goddess, and the dragon kingdom of the dancing goddess, and the dragon kingdom where we got new energies of my brothers and sisters. And myself, I admit it. I admit. I do have aggression. I do have it, but I channel it, I sublimate it to harm no other citizen. My own nature as an individual, Quebec or Canadian, we're going to switch to that French because we're in La Belle Province, to be in harmony, in balance with all other North Americans, Quebecers, Canadians. And yes, for world peace. For world peace, I can be universal world citizens, but I'm a Quebecer, Canadian, North American, and it's what I know of this island. Yeah, I gotta be a little bit prudent and just go slower because of the situational awareness, and turn my head because of the child and the little dog. Little doggy there, and the car there should be a little bit advanced because it's kind of blocking a little bit, but hey, it's gotta be aware, and we gotta make compromises, because as my individual liberty and freedom, now that I'm outside, it has to be in harmony, in balance, in equilibrium with all. Well, I'm on the Montreal Island. It's like a small country, 2.5 million people, right? So with all other, at least on the island, right? What other 2.5 million people? It's like a small country. A lot of people live in my city. Second most populated city in Canada, first in Quebec, seventh or eighth in North America. I know it's 7th or 8th in North America, 7th or 8th in North America. So at least that. Then Quebecers were 9 million, then Canadians were 40 million, and then North Americans were like 600 million, right? Mexico has more than, my Mexican brothers and sisters is more than 100 million. I have my American brothers and sisters is like 344 million now, right? So gotta check the latest statistic. And by the way, I love this. I just love the architecture. Again, I forgot to check if it's Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian architecture. Ionic, Corinthian, or Doric. If it's Doric, Ionic, or Corinthian. If it's Corinthian, Ionic, or Doric. I'm referring to the pillars. So Greco-Roman, ancient Roman Empire is the Ionic or Doric or Corinthian, see? But I'm not sure what it is exactly. Is it Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian? Or is it Corinthian, Ionic, or Doric? So this is Ionic, Doric, or Corinthian. Corinthian, Ionic, or Doric. Doric. It can be one of those three. I gotta check. But nonetheless, I love this structure, this building here, and I would love to see a rainbow. Rainbow, it's a bit gray, but I like the golden and the blue. See the blue, blue, blue. Oh, it says there when it was built. Let's check. Historic sites and monument boards. The founding of the Federation in 1907 to be a French-Canadian maternal movie during the first and third Catholic the feminist campaign in Quebec included also reform civil code, women's suffrage. Ah, cool. Women's suffrage and access to higher education. It encouraged the involvement of lay women in philanthropic and social sectors previously excluding the domain of religious communities and the church. Through its activism and social initiatives, the Fédération contributed to the general advancement of women and the welfare of society as a whole. Wow. Fédération nationale Saint-Jean-Baptiste. Fédération nationale Saint-Jean-Baptiste. La fondation de la Fédération en 1907 marque le début d'un mouvement maternaliste des Canadiens françaises. Des Canadiennes françaises, donc féminin. Au Québec, lors du premier tiers du 20e siècle, cet organisme catholique mène divers combats féministes, dont la réforme du Code civil, le suffrage féminin et l'accès aux études supérieures. Et il favorise par son action l'engagement des femmes laïques dans les secteurs caritatifs et sociaux jusqu'à la grande chasse-garde des communautés religieuses de l'Église. Tant par son militantisme que par son œuvre sociale, la Fédération a contribué à l'avancement de la cause des femmes et au mieux-être de la société. Wow! Hey, exactly. And see, what a providence, because we're just discussing the first professional women's hockey league is going to be apart and getting good financing, and from my understanding they had like a unionized unionized contracts unionized and getting a little bit more financing, not at par of course, because let's face it, like the National Football League average salaries is $1 million and the NHL is in $4 million whatever, and the NBA is the highest $7.7 million average, so some salaries can be lower and less than MLB, so it doesn't even compare, right? Because their averaging salaries are in the millions of the NFL National Football League, the NHL National Hockey League, the NBA National Basketball Association, and the MLB. So those four male sports leagues are, of course, well funded, right? It's millions and billions and CEOs in the bins. I don't know how many women are CEOs, but whatever the case may be, I'm always asking for cooperation. In part of my dream is me, I'm an Aspie artist athlete who has lost due to Asperger's, continuity of employment and possibility of contracts, but I'm open for business 24/7, and I have amnesia, so I don't really remember. Probably due to the mold where I used to live. So I remember 7, 8, 9 years, but after that my memory kind of just... I woke up on this island and I survived COVID, and it was like I was really sick and was diseased, very sick. Thought I was gonna die in many ways. I did die, and now I'm being reborn as I go every day, carpe diem it every day. And whoever wants to support this, Adrian Hanna, Dragon and Drudge, secret artist, athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst and theorist, as I go to the mountain and picking at the architectural styles. Well, thank you so much. You didn't really have to, but I appreciate it. Thank you. What a nice senior citizen. He moved a little bit out of the way and he smiled, and I said, I thank you, I appreciate it. He saw me probably with the backpack, said hey, because they were one by one. So I appreciate those gestures, because we're supposed to stay on the right side. We make compromises, but they were side by side, and he said maybe by fellow citizens to just go in the back so that we both have our liberty and security liberty with the fellow citizens. And I was on the right side, because we're supposed to stay on the right when we go right on the piéton, on the sidewalk, right? We go on the right. And now see the cars, just like driving, you gotta stay on the right side if other come right under. A lot of people are, but I appreciate my fellow citizens. He just made an effort to just move to the side, and I appreciate those gestures. And we're in public, so we got added responsibilities, duties, and obligations, which under the course of normal life we don't really have them. Right, on the course of normal life we don't really have those responsibilities, duties, and obligations. And I consider myself an independent, but can be very professional when I workout, train, exercise. As an independent fitness captain, I always say independent fitness captain who created a great workout training program system. Let's go. Me and women's sports leagues. Montreal. My team is going to have to be Montreal. I support the Professional Women's Hockey League, the PWHL. Go PWHL. Excited. Yeah. I love women's sports leagues and I love women's sports, and you know, I am androgynous myself, 50-50. You get that 50-50. You get that 50-50. You get Dragon on the Marches when I dance. You get that Priestess, HNNH. You get 2-in-1 double trouble for world peace. But yeah, you know, I love women's sports, and I would definitely have financed if I would have been in a position. Women's hockey, women's basketball, women's soccer, because they rock and roll. They rock and roll. They rock and roll. Like hockey's so great and basketball is great, but is of course the financing is, there's a big gap, right? There's a big gap in terms of professional. Like just take the NFL National Football League, the NHL National Hockey League, the NBA National Basketball Association, the MLB. You get contracts which are in the millions. Some players make $7 million a year. They got some people making 7-year contracts. It's like $50 million or $1 million a year, or $2 million, $3 million. You know, so you don't have that in the women's sports leagues. Not even close. Not even close. You get tens of thousands. Turn your heads left and right, left and right, left and right. So you don't have any women's sports leagues that offer salaries in the millions. Not even one. So we don't have a women's sports league that offers salaries in the million. We do not have, and that's a fact. I'm gonna have to check on the Professional Women's Hockey League's salaries and finances, but as a women's sport, there's not even one that makes millions, right? I don't think there is. No, there's not. I don't think any player currently that just began where Professional Women's Hockey Leagues is millions, right? In the million salaries, but in the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, MLB, there are, right? They are. So turn your heads left and right. But it's not that I'm not criticizing. Right? If I criticize, I offer alternatives. But I always encourage people to action. You know, encouragement through love and through some philosophy. You know, because I'm not totally selfless myself. I'm not totally selfless. Like, yeah, you know, I know, dance before the games of any sports teams, men, NFL or PWHL or whatever. I would like to have a contribution for my rock and roll and for my athletics, for my dancing is my favorite sport. Nobody dances like myself, or from rock and roll, but I'm not totally selfish either, you know. So I try to stay in the harmony in the middle. For myself, for others, and for the greater good. I do believe in the greater good. I do believe in a little bit of, you know, self and others and capabilities and rewards and kind of meritocracy, right? Meritocracy. But I also believe in charity and encouragement, and that when we have the money is to enable people to do things, finance. That's why I believe my DRT theory best now for the creation of the Universal Exchange Unit. Because there's no other way where we are now financially. That's why I'm calling on my Scorpios. Scorpios. Bill Gates is a Scorpio. Joe Biden, Scorpio. And Larry Fink is not that well known of BlackRock. Not to be confused with Blackstone. They're different financial institutions, but to support my theory, the DRT, the debt refusion theory, because I believe there's no other way now where we are but my theory. You know, I'm also a philosopher, a thinker who did years of study, read tens of thousands of books. Especially as an Aspie, I have those obsessions with civilizations, geopolitics, so 24/7 do analysis, study, learn, and I present my theories to the world and for the creation of the two complementary covenant and cooperative institutions, which are the Dancing Goddess Army, DJ North American Integrated Dance League, in support with all other teams, and, you know, the Dragon Army. And look, it's 7. That clock is always 7. That clock is always 7. That clock is always 7 there. Il est toujours 7 heures là-bas sur l'horloge. Always 7. It's been 7 years. See that clock? It's always 7. So it hasn't changed. Maybe now it's gonna start ticking 2024. But anyways, 2nd of January 2024, today, Carpe Diem is all I got. passing by Westmount, if I know somebody who deserves to live in houses like this, we're starting to get real estate value going up now in one of the most richest affluent neighborhoods in Quebec, Montreal, Canada, right? And of course, if I know somebody who deserves to live in houses like this is my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman I know. And of course, if I make a million, gonna give her half. If I make a billion, gonna give her half. If I make a trillion, gonna give her half, because I'm laying the foundations for the empire, for the empire, for the empire. With trillions and trillions and trillions of kisses. Credited from the forgotten goddess. I'm a mystic, M-Y-S-T-I-C. Mystic, so I do have spiritual connections to nature. The sun is my pope now. Sun is rising and setting somewhere in the world, and you know I like my BDSM switch. I gotta look at those helicopters, choppers. Let's go, give me 300 helicopters, choppers, North America. Look at that beautiful flight. Salute the troops. NORAD, NATO, saluting the troops. Helicopter coast to coast, service and security. And in the parallel life, I create, design supercomputers, satellites, microchips, and all things telecommunications. In a parallel life, I'm a super scientist. I also have Asperger's. So in that parallel life, I also have Asperger's. I'm an Aspie. But nonetheless, of course, in that parallel life, I do believe in reincarnations and in parallels, but whatever the case may be, I would love to give that mansion to my anonymous sister friend. Wow, that's a nice mansion there. And nice houses here, I gotta say, Westmount, but my anonymous sister friend, greatest woman I know, who deserves to be 7 times richer than Oprah. All the 7 Kardashians put together times 7. 7 times 7, that's 49. Rock and roll to the mountain. My sun is now rising and now setting. Go. PWHL Go. Dedicated to the league, to the 6 teams and the sports. And the athletes, of course. The athletes of the league. Because the PWHL, Professional Women's Hockey League, is represented by those, my sisters, citizens of the PWHL, who skated great yesterday. Saw the highlights. I want to check if I can see the whole game. At least part of it, but I saw some highlights, like 7 minutes of highlights. And of course, it was great. And I loved it. I'm going to love Montreal. I'm going to have to pick one team first, but of course the league as a whole, and it's by our athletes, women's athletes. As we go to the mountain, on the mountain we rock and roll. For the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the truckers as well. For the nurses, for the butchers, for the doctors, for the truckers as well. For the nurses, for the doctors, for the butchers, for the bakers. For the doctors and the nurses and the truckers as well. Truckers gotta get it. For the kid, they get upset it. For the road up in the go. For the blow up in the snow. For that 93 rainbow. For that 93 rainbow. For that 93 rainbow. Go. PWHL Go. Love you and love women's sports league. Sending some love in my rock and roll type of way. And well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate the effort. We got out of the way, and those fellow citizens smiled, and I saluted. I said thank you very much, and they got out of the way because they saw me coming, so they made an effort to move. I said thank you and got out of the way, and they smiled with the friendly citizens. And you know, if I do the same, but now I'm solo, so meaning that I keep to going on the right. So I stay on the right. I stay on the right, just like driving. I stay on the right. I stay on the right and I go marching for the PWHL now. Action. Sometimes you gotta stay that action, man. And yeah, you know, I've been depressed. I've been suicidal. You know what got me out of being depressed? It was 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I crossed Canada coast to coast with my anonymous sister friend, and I said so many things to live for. greatest trip I ever had. I mean, I have amnesia, so don't ask me more than 7, 8, 9 years, but I woke up on the island and here I am, joyous today, carpe diem today with some joy, some contentment, some happiness, which comes through gratitude. Gratitude, grateful, thankful, to having today and having trillions of kisses. Trillions, I said, a trillion is 1,000 billion, a billion is 1,000 million kisses, tickles, and marching steps with it, some push-ups, some philosophy, some brain and some muscle, and some W-A-R-L-L, some W-I-L-L, some W-I-L-L, will, the will to love and to do, because I also like to do things, I like doing things, and it's part of also my will, I like to not just philosophize, and I like to go to the mountain, I like to be in nature, and of course to meditate and study, as I did for years, civilizations, geopolitics, and sports, engage in fitness, dancing is my favorite sport, and of course now marching for, first and foremost, the athletes of the six teams, Gotta pick my Montreal, Metropolis Island here. It's a small country population type. And gotta cheer the other teams as well. Gotta set a whole league. Good initiative. First game was yesterday, and I gotta march for them, and gotta keep it active, and gotta keep it on the step, and gotta turn my head left and right, and gotta turn my head left and right before I cross the street. But I do it also, keeping in mind that my liberty, freedom is a new thing, and freedom and liberty has to be ensured and secured. And with my nature as an individual citizen, part of two minorities, right? Asperger's, being an Aspie, not even 1 out of 300 has Asperger's. It's 0.44% in 2020 of the population in the world. And of course, 0.44, so 0.44. So less than half of a percent, not even 1% of the population has Asperger's. So being that I have Asperger's, and I'm also pansexual, gay, pansexual, androgynous, gay, pansexual, that holy trinity, as I call for all to support the holy trinity of my theories, the CIT, citizen integration theory, the DRT, debt refusion theory, which is a must, and the democratic fusion theory, that trinity of theories to be implemented via the fourth dimension. That fourth dimension is love. Love is also action. So we gotta go all the way, and we gotta keep drilling, and we gotta put a step in front of the other and say all to ourselves that the fitness journey, my fitness journey, begins today. Now it's 3:46. So I'm gonna, of course, put at 3:46, and go encourage you all. You see these children doing a pirouette of push-ups. Encourage the children to do another push-up, another pirouette. The children gotta be encouraged. In many ways, I'm encouraging my own inner child. And sometimes we gotta be playful. Sometimes things are serious, where we are geopolitically. Tough times, but of course I'm calling on, of course, all to give more charity, to be charitable. Wall Street has got about 44 minutes to buy, sell, trade futures. Exactly 44 minutes, because the stock market closes at 4:30. The stock market closes at about 4:30, and 4:30 the stock market closes. I got 44 minutes on the clock, and on the clock. 44 minutes on the clock, and we gotta keep it on the clock, and we gotta keep it on the go, and gotta be grateful, be mindful, and we gotta see and understand and know more and inquire more is my motto for 2024. Inquire more, ask more, do more, argue less. So here it is. I'm going to now discuss the DRT theory as we're going east to the mountain, and here it is. So the debt situation now, myself in debt $10,500. The public and the private debt has reached a critical level. So listen to these words 3 times, right? So you gotta be listening to these words 3 times, and as I spoke that, my cheerleaders, my lovers, the crows, because I love black crows. I love the black crows. One day sit upon the white snow with a rainbow. I love the black crows. There they are. I love my black crows. One day sit upon the rainbow. Love my black crows. One day sit upon the rainbow. Love my black crows. One day sit upon the rainbow on the white snow. So nonetheless, oh, it's my turn to cross now. So here it is. So just gonna make sure I cross in safety before I discuss my DRT theory. So here it is. I'm gonna show you the debt charges. See, these are the debt charges. So this is from CBC. Oh yes, my crows are coming. Yeah, they support my DRT, so should all North Americans, all private and public, left, right, and center, because there's no other way where we are now with the debt. But my DRT theory is we're facing global financial collapse or North American financial. Anyways, so 2020 ballooning debt charges. So here it is from the CBC. You can see the numbers. Numbers are 2020, 2021. See, that's 20.3. See, so this was from the CBC. So this is not the whole debt. This is just paying interest. So this is just paying interest. This is just paying interest on the debt. You see there, ballooning debt charges. See, ballooning debt charges. See, the ballooning debt charges. See. So this is the CBC, this is the official number. So this number is just to service the debt. In other words, the interest paid. So in 2020 to 2021, it was 20.3 billion. See, in 2020 to 2021, it was 20.3 billion. 2020, 2021, it was 20.3 billion. 2020 to 2020, a billion is 1,000 million. A billion is 1,000 billion. 1 million has 6 zeros. 1 billion has 9 zeros. So 1 billion is 1,000 million. 9 zeros. 2020 to 2021, 20.3 billion. So 3 years later, it went from 20.3 to 46.5. Right? It went from 20.3, so it more than doubled, because 2021, the service on the debt, so the interest paid on the debt, paying the interest on the debt, it was 20.3. So that, if it would have been doubled, it would have been 40.6. So now it's 46.5 for the 2023-2024 year, right? So it more than double, because double would have been 40.6. So now it's 46.5, right? So 46.5. Keep that in mind. 46.5 is a huge number. So we gotta be mindful and aware of that, how big the number is. And of course, we gotta meditate. And now I'm gonna explain my DRT theory. So the DRT, the debt refusion theory. So the debt refusion theory explained providence just because we crows passed and we reached the mountain. So you saw the debt servicing, 46.5 billion interest. So there's no other way now where we are, personal finance and public finance. That's public finance, right? Because my debt as a private individual, private citizen, is about 10,500, right? So my debt, 10,500, is your debt plus our debt. So the DRT theory stands for debt refusion theory. DRT, debt, DEBT, refusion, REFUSION theory, THEORRY. DRT, debt refusion theory. With solutions, we gotta focus. So no matter what argument you put, left or right or center, because I'm a pro-labor, love universal, revolutionary center, where we are now, 2024, 2nd of January, Tuesday, my first march, there's no other way but my DRT theory for the collective North American civilization to be implemented. So, and because I'm an independent philosopher and student of philosophy. So the DRT theory, taking all private and public debt, My debt is 10,500, right? My debt is about 10,500. So taking all the debt, public and private, and my debt refusion theory contains in it what's called the monetary integration. Monetary integration is exactly what the European did. So the Germans got rid of the Deutsche Mark. The Germans got rid of the Deutsche Mark, adopted the euro. The Italians in Italy dropped the lira and adopted the euro. And of course the French dropped the franc and adopted the euro. Many countries dropped their currency, although some retained their old currency. So they have also the euro. So my DRT theory includes what's called DRT, debt refusion theory, includes monetary integration theory. So taking all private and public debt, my private debt is about 10,500, which your debt, all the debt, which includes my debt plus your debt plus all the public debt. So taking it all is gonna be in the trillions, My debt is not in the trillions. I have 10,500, right? I have 10,500. I have 10,500. 10,500, right? That's my debt. So take my debt, your debt, all the public and the private debt of Canada, US, and Mexico. What I'm speaking for North America, for North America. So all what I call the collective North American civilization, because us Quebecers, Canadians, we constitute a collective civilization, right? So all the public and the private debt, that number is going to be in the trillions. And since the United States dollar is still the currency of choice for world trade, global business, international commerce, and this we'll have to do a conversion. So we'll have to convert the Canadian debt, all the Canadian debt, into United States money. So we'll have to do the conversion, right? Because the United States dollar is still the currency of choice. Here we are, we made it to the mountain. So we made it to the mountain. We're here, the mountain, and encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. Good for them, encourage them to jog some more. I always like when people work out, train, exercise, and it's always good. Fellow Quebecers, I love seeing them jogging and it brings me some joy. But anyways, saluting them, and of course gotta continue discussing my DRT theory, the debt refusion theory, the DRT theory, debt refusion theory. So taking all debt, public and private, right? Public and private debt. So I go to the mountain and calling all to support the DRT theory. So taking all private and public debt, so refusing it. My private debt is about 10,500 debt. Yours, all the citizens of Canada, US, Mexico, Haiti's, the Gourd, and Cuba, and all North Americans, and do the conversion. Canadian dollar debt, all the Canadian dollar, public and private. So the public and the private debt of Canada, United States, Mexico, North American collective civilization, and that's going to be converted into US dollars. So the US dollar will stay the same, because it's whatever it is, the US dollar is still the world currency of choice. International finance, global commerce, and world trade, right? So all whatever it is, the case may be. So taking all the debt, public and private, refuse it. So do the conversion, Canadian debt, public and private, into US dollars, Mexican peso, the peso, I don't know the exchange rate today, but at that point in time, let's say ASAP, tomorrow, starting in February, March 20th deadline, March 20th deadline, and of course, all these deadlines, today your fitness journey begins. Look at that, Montreal, south part of the city. So taking all public and private debt, the public and the private debt, the public and the private debt, the public and the private debt, all the public and the private debt, right? The public and the private debt. So refusing it. So whatever the case may be, is gonna be in the trillions. Like I said, so do the addition, all the debt, Canada, Mexico, US, Haiti, Cuba, add it all together, North America, maybe European Union join us, Israel, whatever the case may be. And that's going to be the initial money supply of a new global international World Bank. And then it will be a new currency called the UE. UE stands for Universal Exchange Unit. UE, Universal Exchange Unit. U.E.U. Preferably the hand by biometrics. The hand, the voice are unique biometric identifiers. So the hand, the voice, and of course the biometrics. So that's why I'm calling on my astrological brother Bill Gates, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Partnership, YouTube, Public and Private, NORAD, Dragon Army Initiative, Elon Musk, PayPal. 7 years I've been using PayPal, almost 8 now. I never had a problem with PayPal. 7 years I've been using PayPal. I never had a problem with PayPal, and it's been more than 7 years. So here we are at the mountain. So the DRT, once again, I'm going to explain it, and then I'm going to switch a bit to that French because we're in la belle province. So the DRT, taking all, oh, fellow citizen, good for you, jog, work out, train, exercise. So take all the private and the public debt. So my private, as a private citizen, my debt is 10,500. So I'm in debt X, you're X, Y, Z. So all the private and the public debt. Refuse it, fellow citizens, you're jog it. So my 10,000, your 5,000, and his 10,000, and ours, and whatever the case may be. And of course, all the Canadian debt, United States debt, the public and the private, right? Fellow joggers, man. Good for you. Gotta salute fellow joggers there. See, they pass by me, and here I gotta stay on the right side, right? I gotta stay on the right side, just like driving, and they're staying on the right side when they come, right? It's just like driving, simple. And I'm glad I saw some people jogging here in the mountain, and this is like my second home, Mount Royal. I love coming here, and I got a little bit of a beautiful sunset, so I'm glad. All the beautiful sunset there, and hey, I made it. It's been 61 minutes to get here, 61 minutes to get here, and what time is it? 4:01. So maybe it was 3:58 at the base there at the corner. Anyways, we're gonna go around the about, and we're gonna drill it, and we're gonna drill it over time. You already know the drill. Anyways, the DRT theory. So here it is. The DRT theory, once again, the debt refusion theory for the creation of what I call the UE, stands for Universal Exchange Unit, to be at par with the United States dollar. So, taking all private and public debt, my private debt is about $10,000. Yours, the public debt, Canada is going to be in the trillions, United States is in the trillions, and since the United States dollar is still the currency of choice for world trade, international finance, global commerce, then of course still do the refusion. So the refusion, DRT stands for debt refusion theory. So since my DRT theory contains also what's called monetary integration, just like they did in the European Union, take all private and public debt, refuse it. So whatever the number is in the trillions, right? So it's going to be in the trillions of dollars. The debt is going to be in the trillions of dollars. So it's going to be trillions of DRT theory applied. Take all public and private debt, refuse it, whatever the case may be. Take all public and private debt, refuse it, and of course create what I call the Universal Exchange Unit, provided by biometrics, the hand and the voice. They are unique biometric identifiers. And of course the DRT stands for debt refusion theory. So take all the public, take all the public and the private debt, and of course refuse it. So add it all up, it's gonna be in the trillions. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. That's what I like, man. Seeing people holding hands. I'm also a matchmaker. Y'all give me joy and hope when I see people holding hands, hugging, give me lots of hope for this Western civilization, West Side, because we got nuclear warheads and ICBM rockets, anyways, built from 1944 till 1991, more than 44 years of the Cold War, more than 44 years of the Cold War, more than 44 years of the Cold War. ICBM rockets, nuclear warheads, XYZ, and now we're facing a potential financial catastrophe. And this year could start tomorrow. But my DRT theory to the savior, and I'm now without fault. You know, I masturbated this morning earlier a little bit, stroked my little androgynous scar, you know. I got a little androgynous scar, no need to spar me, CIAC, Stasi are gone after 1989. Mossad, whatever the case may be. On the island, fight my own battles, we can put on gloves. One-on-one, blah, 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 rock and roll. 24/7, DRT theory. Feel good. Feel good. Feel good. So take all private and public debt. My private debt is about 10,500. Your private debt, my private debt, refuse it. So whatever the name is of the currency, I say UE, universal exchange unit, but implement it. So take all private and public debt and create what I call the universal exchange unit. So take all private and public debt, and of course create what I call the universal exchange unit. So I'm going to explain once again, but here I gotta be careful on the ice because it's slippery. It's black ice, dark ice, so here I just gotta watch my step, and I'm gonna go to that side and turn my head's left or right when I cross the street. And of course it's potential to slide and slip there because it's but I gotta salute and thank the public workers because it seems like they did pass and they put some grains and some salt, so I gotta thank and salute and give a little thank you. Citizen appreciation raw with rock and roll, my style, rainbow dragon hugs without rainbow, but gotta salute the public workers. We're gonna put out some salt or grains or sand, and to make ours coming here in this winter safer for citizens, right? So anyways, the DRT theory explained now. DRT theory, take all public and private debt. My private is 10,500, refuse it. That is added all together in US dollars, whatever it is in the United States currency, since the United States currency is the currency of choice. Your world trade and international finance and global commerce. And of course, the United States dollar still is the global currency of choice today. And it has gone down in the past years, especially during COVID, challenged by other currencies, emerging markets currencies. But of course, the DRT theory explained and in a simple manner. So once again, take all the debt, public and private, and whatever the case may be, refuse it and create the UE, Universal Exchange Unit. So by biometrics, like I said. And hey, good for you, fellow citizen. You came to the mountain, and it's super important to work out, train, exercise, and go on a little drill and do some push-ups and come here for half an hour, whatever the case may be, because it's not just my mountain, it's mine, yours, and ours. It belongs to all of us. And I always encourage people to come here and come work out, have a walk, half an hour walk. If you don't know the mountains so well, I would advise not to venture in the woods because it's gonna drop. Sunset is still early. Days are getting longer since December 25th. But nonetheless, I know the mountains, so I added security and whatever the case may be to be secured, but nonetheless. So once again, the DRT theory. Take all private and public debt, Canadian debt, United States debt, Mexican debt, convert the Canadian currency, Canadian debt, public and private debt, Mexican debt, the Mexican peso, because the debt of Mexico is going to be in the peso, Canadian dollars, and Haitian gourd, la gorda d'Haïti, and whatever the number is, finance a new bank. So that's going to be the initial money supply. All the debt is going to be the initial money supply. All the debt is going to be the initial money supply. All the debt is going to be the initial money supply for this new currency, which we're going to call the UE. Stands simple. 21st century currency, universal exchange unit, because that's what money is fundamentally. For exchange, to trade, right? To buy, sell, goods, services, goods, services, goods, services. The universal exchange unit. U dot E dot U dot, the Universal Exchange Unit, the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, 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 UE, the Universal Exchange Unit, the UE. Alright, so that is what it's going to be. Universal Exchange Unit. Preferably by biometrics. Right, the hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometric identifiers. And of course, we're going to create the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, preferably by biometrics, and the hand, the voice, and the eye are unique biometric identifiers, and create that UE. And of course, the money of the public and private debt will be the initial money supply. Initial money supply, initial money supply. The initial money supply is going to be the debt in the trillions. So then put a set limit on all interest. 10% maximum. It could be 9.3, 7.70, 3.33, 6.11, 4.18, 7.18, 8.0, below 10. All debts, all loans will be set maximum interest rate 10% after the DRT creates the UE. 10% maximum. After the DRT creates the UE, will be a 10% maximum. A solution on the table. The DRT theory with the CIT, citizen integration theory, with the DRT theory. That Trinity theory is via love. Because I love the women's sports. I love the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, firefighters. I love the firefighters, butchers, bakers, farmers, nurses, doctors. I love the doctors, firefighters, butchers, bakers, those cleaning. You know, those encouraging others to work out, train, exercise, those who started their fitness journey now in 2024, those lovers holding hands, kissing now, maybe engaging in the BDSM activity like I love. You know, I love to, on the private life, with consent, and consenting adults, I'm speaking of here, consenting adults. I'm speaking here, of course. You know, I like to, in my private life, I like to be, let's say, whipped, and a little bit degraded, you know, I like to be, BDSM stands for bondage, domination, sadomasochism. BDSM, bondage, domination, sadomasochism. BDSM, bondage, domination, sadomasochism. That's what it stands for, you know. So I like that in my part. No need to spy me, CIA, CSIS, Canadian Secret Intelligence Services. Better give me some push-ups, see if you can do my workout training program, blah, blah, blah. Public and private partnership, support a dream. The dancing goddess in the dragon kingdom. Independent Aspie artist, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist who comes here on the mountain in steel toes for the my sisters on the ice rink. I love her. Give me some love. I can't finance because what is money? I ain't debt, but I'm rich. R-I-C-H. Rich in rock and roll kisses. Can do a little bit of rap. Finance some women's sports league. That rainbow 21st century rap. Androgynous pansexual, truly independent Aspie artist. Athlete, philosopher, geopolitical analyst, and theorist who's not perfect and who presents the Trinity of theories. My brothers and sisters, no other way but the DRT theory of what's happening now. Record debt, public and private, North American, and even beyond, worldwide. I can assume I'm pretty much worldwide, global, international, but nonetheless, I speak as a Quebecer, Canadian, North American. Personally, I do not consider myself a member of a diaspora. I believe in reincarnation. I was born across the world from ancient Egypt, right on this island. I was born 11 times on the island of Montreal. Here, I live on an island. Montreal is an island surrounded by a big river called St. Lawrence. I met Louis Cyr in a past life, and I did, of course, a little bit of a strong arm with them, and 7 years later my arm was on a strike, you know. Anyways, but we need global, North American Global Dragon Union, you know. It's just women's sports leagues, and the women's sports, they got a league, they got contracts. I'm glad, multi-year contracts, you know, and you know, I do open business and I support unions, and generally with my 21st century reform for the unions, and So union reform, and we gotta clean ourselves, because my brothers and sisters, I can be toxic. I got toxicity, you know. I healed from so many. Who knows? Well, I lived, and who knows the drugs I did. If I have amnesia, you know, I can't remember 7, 8, 9 years, and I got scars, and I got maybe. It was lots of mold where I used to live before. It's better where I live now. I'm grateful. It was lots of mold where I used to live. Lots of mold. And I've written about suffering a head wound from a black sword. So now I will to build a new sword, a black and with a handle made of a black and a white snake, with kissing rainbow tongues and red scarlet. So that's my new sword, which I want to build. And of course, I wanted to do it. A little bit. I wanted to do it. A new sword, which will be I want the handle to be a black snake and a white snake, with both having rainbow tongues, like kissing, embracing, the black snake and the white snake embracing with the rainbow tongues. And the sword, I want it to be scarlet, red. I can have a little bit of gold in it. But that's my new sword, which I want to build. And but right now online with this, gonna put it on YouTube doing this recording, you know. So a black snake and a white snake with rainbow tongues, and of course the white snake and the black snake with rainbow tongues. And the sword, I wanted scarlet, red. Scarlet is a shade of red, so scarlet is basically a vivid life, very burning red type of scarlet. It's like the sunset and the sunrise and sunset are both like scarlet red, right? The sunset, now the sun is rising and the sun is setting somewhere in the world, right? Because on the west coast it's minus 3 hours. What time it is? 4:14 now. As I go up, it's 4:14, but on the west coast, that San Francisco gives some charity, good game. It's finance and women's sports league. You know, my Niners, and I'm a Raiders second, auctioning this hat, of course. I'm auctioning the hat. Yeah, auctioning the hat. The Raiders and the 49ers. Please, 49ers, all the NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, finance, women's sports leagues, food security. Food security. Super important to get that food security. It starts with our farmers and the food producers. Thinking about the truckers on the road now, but my brothers and sisters know how to way but the DRT theory. Debt refusion theory for the creation of the UE. So take all private and public debt. North Americans Unite is the rock and roll song. Today's special go. PWHL. Montreal gonna play tonight. Montreal go, and support a whole initiative. And I love women's sports, and dancing is my favorite sport, and I'm willing to dance before the games, and I don't know, whatever the things I like, Mary Magdalene type of feet washing and whatever it is, and donations, commissions, blah blah la la la. Donations, commissions, blah blah la la la. Donations, commissions, blah blah blah. I'm working now. This is my fitness activity, and being in parallel with all other citizens, you know. North Americans Unite, and not being perfect, far from it, and thinking about that Wall Street. Please give to charity if you make $1 million today. 10% of 1 million is 100,000. You can divide it by 4 different charities. 25,000 for women's sports leagues, 25,000 for food security, 25,000 for LGBTQ youth services, and 25,000 for environmental causes. You got 4 different causes. 10% of $1 million. Don't be so selfish. I'm not totally selfish, not totally perfect, but don't be so selfish. Here we go now on the slippery, man. You gotta be very careful if you go down there. It's very steep and it's very icy, eh? You're welcome. if you don't know the road, eh?
No, I was just walking. So
yeah.
To go another way.
I know this is like my second home, so I'm just letting you know. Like after that point there, at one point it goes very steep. It's steep. It's doable, but it's slippery. I don't want to risk it, eh? You're welcome. It's like my second home here, so I know everything about it. So just letting you know in case you want to go that way. Bye. It's very steep there, you know. It's that steepness. So you gotta be vigilant, you know, when you come here. So you got rugged terrain, you know. And I know this mountain like my second home, and here the rocks are my friends, and here in nature, you know, we're all kind of equal in the nature, you know. And, you gotta know the mountain, and I always let people know because that way is steep, and if they're rigs, they should put an indication there. Of course, it's very steep, very rocks, you know, and it could be very treacherous terrain, you know. You got slippery, and you gotta give heads up to people who are not from the mountain, don't know the mountain, but it's like my second home here. And anyways, be patient. We're gonna switch to that French, some rock and roll, and going all the way to the mountain. Anyway, support the DRT theory and saluting the ambulance drivers, saluting our firefighters. Love you, firefighters. Love you, ambulance drivers, and give them a big hug. You know, love is also ashy. You know, it's not all about money. Money is the thing we do, we buy, we sell, and our farmers, our butchers, our bakers, our nurses, our firefighters, our ambulance drivers, you know. And gotta be mindful of all these things. And here's very steep, you know. I got that ice, and we gotta go. See this? This has to go in the recycling. We got recycling there because we got, of course, all see like these things. These things have to be recycled. See, please, 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 if you come here, we got chipmunks, we got rabbits, we got flora, fauna, and this, if this passes the winter here, it's gonna pollute. Gonna go in the ground, so it's a no-no. So we're gonna go recycle this. So please, if you come here, do not leave it. Right? This has to be recycled. This has to be recycled, you know, recycle. So we're gonna go recycle it over there. Lots of people came, man. I'm glad. And if the children are happy, I'm happy. Lots of people come. Hey, look at that. Full people on the mountain. Welcome to my second home. You gotta be careful though, because now it's slippery, so the conditions are slippery. So I gotta myself slow down a bit as I go recycle this, because it has to be recycled, because this it would have passed. If we would have passed the whole winter there, we would have polluted. Imagine snow on it, on these three items, snow and then degradable, and we got rabbits, we got flora, we got fauna, and of course we got flora and fauna, and we don't gotta let anything to be polluted here, right? To be polluted and do the pollution here and leave it not in the nature. We got public workers, they're gonna be there picking up the garbage, the recycling, and we got plenty of public workers. And see, congratulations to those who made it to the mountain. And you know, we gotta get the drill, and here we're gonna go calculate what's the best way, because that way is slippery, and I also gotta make a smart decision for my safety, for others. See, the children are happy, I'm happy. Gonna go recycle this right there, because this, it would have stayed. If it would have snowed tomorrow, if it snows tomorrow, tonight starts snowing, and this goes underneath the snow, imagine it. And then 3 months, March, the March sun, the snow melts in the March sun, the snow melts in the March sun, and this is gonna biodegrade. So it would have been so much pollution killing the rabbits, and we got chipmunks, and we got, of course, all sorts of hawks, and we got squirrels, and gotta keep it on the right. The children are happy, I'm happy, and this has to be recycling, right? Recycling, super important. Recycle, to do these things which we engage in, and to meditate that civilization is a privilege, and if we are to have harmony between nature and civilization, we gotta, of course, do our part. And it starts with me and you here on the ground zero here in Hawk Island, Montreal. Going to do some recycling, and see, putting them in the recycling and making sure we close the bin, right? Super important. Close the bins. Here we go. Easy on the recycling. We open and we put it in. And we close, and we did our part. There we go, we did our part for the recycling. We saved the squirrel, we saved the bunny and the squirrel. And this, please close it. And this doesn't really go there. See? This doesn't go there. This has to be also put in the where it goes. Goes in the garbage. You can't throw food in there. So we also got to be careful, because if you throw the food in there with the recycling, it's counterproductive. So the food doesn't go there, the recycling doesn't go there, the recycling goes there, not the food stuff, right? So we gotta be careful. So now we're gonna go to the mountain and we're gonna go to the top and we're gonna go get those miles in, and we're gonna switch to that French and we're gonna go switch to that Belfast and we're gonna go get to that starlit heavens. Feels good. Thank you. Oh yes, by the side we go. Anyway, the DRT theory. Yeah, I'm happy I saved a squirrel. Nature has to be our friend sometimes. We gotta cooperate, you know. And it's the GODDA says, God is dancing with a brother, son, and you know sometimes we gotta get that. Snakes are holy, eh? Snakes are holy. Snakes are holy. Snakes are holy. Snakes are holy. But see, that doesn't go there either, so I'm gonna have to pick it up and recycle it, because if a squirrel gets and if it passes here, see, it's got to be recycled. And we enter by the side of the mountain, seeing somebody in red. R-E-D in red, red, red. Let's go. Do that good jog, I see you. See in red, jog, jog, jog. Good for you. Dragon Army potential. You gotta do that. You don't want to integrate the whole body. Hey, sister, go, go, go. Dragon Army roundabout. Do for her. Let's go. We enter the mountain on these steel toes. We enter the forest on the mountain on these steel toes. It's gonna get dark, but I know the mountain. We're gonna go to the top and back. We're gonna change. You know, we like to change, and we like to take different routes every time. And again, your fitness journey commences today, starts now. Support the DRT, debt refusion theory. Explain my DRT theory includes the monetary integration theory, which they did in Euro for the creation of the European currency, the Euro. All those countries, and you know, take all public and private debt, create what I call the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, the Universal Exchange Unit for the creation of the UE, and of course apply the DRT theory across the collective North American civilization. So the DRT once again explained, take all private and public debt. My private debt is of course $10,500, and taking my debt, your debt, and of course the debt of Canada, coast to coast, and create what I call the UE, the Universal Exchange Unit. Oh, here's slippery. Slippery, slippery. So you gotta strategize. So I gotta look, I gotta put a foot. Oh, very slippery, very treacherous here. So you gotta did that liberty, gotta communicate with Mother Nature. So Mother Nature said, you did something for me, I'm gonna do something for you. Yeah, you did something for me, which is putting that trash in the recycling. I'm gonna do something for you. You did something for me, I'm gonna do something for you. You did something for me, I'm gonna do something for you. And Mother Nature supports the UE, Universal Exchange, and the DRT. DRT, debt refusion theory. Take all. DRT, all debt, private and public. Refuse it, whatever the number is gonna be in the trillions. Trillions, not a billion is 1,000. A billion got 9 zeros, a trillion got 12 zeros. So take all private and public debt, create the universal exchange unit, the universal exchange unit, preferably by biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the eye unique biometric identifiers. And of course, we're gonna LOVE, rock and roll 24/7. Switch to that French because we la belle province, give me a minute. Take all public and private debt, refuse it. Canada, United States, Mexico, Haiti, and Cuba, the Dominican Republic, all North American countries. All the debt is going to be in the trillions at par with the United States to do the conversion, Canadian debt into US dollars. Mexican peso debt, the Mexican debt is going to be in pesos. And of course, Haitian gourd and converted into US dollars since the United States is the international currency of choice for finance, world business, global trade. And of course, do the refusion, conversion to US dollars. And that number is going to be the initial money supply for the debt. The initial money supply for the debt. The initial money supply for the new bank, central bank, the North American Integrated Bank, or the Global Central Integrated Bank to issue the new currency, the UE, and that will be the initial money supply. And then set, all interest levels at 10%. It can be 9.3, 7.70, 4.18, 3.33, 7.18. So set that currency, whatever the number is, set all that currency, create the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, because money is to buy, sell, right? Please give to charity now. Wall Street closed. Wall Street is closing in 44 seconds. 44 seconds. Please give to charity if you make a million, buy, sell, trade stocks, future options, put speculation. The DRT theory is not speculation. Its application in practice is solution. The DRT theory is not speculation, its application in practice. It's solution. The DRT theory is not speculation, its application implies solution. Be very careful if you go that way, it's very slippery, eh?
Slippery, eh? Yeah, I know.
Ben, si vous n'êtes pas familier avec le terrain, moi c'est comme ma deuxième maison ici chez nous. Ouais, fait que je connais, puis ça va en pente. Il faut que vous ayez très tranquillement, je vous suggère, si c'est la première fois que vous venez l'hiver. Ok. Ça fait plaisir. Je dis ça au monde parce que des fois il y a des touristes, là, puis ils connaissent pas le chemin, puis... Bye, bonne journée. So we're gonna switch to that French and... it's very slippery there, you know, you gotta be careful. It's comme en pente, c'est profond, puis ça glisse, tu sais, ça glisse. It's very slippery, so I always warn people with that area, that corner there, when they go, if it's winter, to be very careful because it drops like this. So if you're not familiar with the terrain, as I am, this is like my second home, so I always let people know, especially, I don't know if they're tourists or not, I can assume much, be ignorant, we assume much on a daily basis, but just like they knew that because they said in French they knew got into the place, so they're okay. I just let them know that it's very icy and very slippery, and I don't think there was any salt, but yet I can do volunteering, you know, to put salt. That's an idea. I'm gonna contact the Amis de la Montagne to see if they need some volunteers to put salt like here on the terrain here, because now it's slippery, see, so I gotta go slower even now, slow down a bit and bend the knees, slow down and bend the knees to put more weight, to strategize, military strategies, to bend down a little bit, you know, I gotta bend down a little bit, we gotta go bend down a little bit, and here we are in the midst of nature. We got these antennas, radio, television, and we got that 5G. We got our radio antennas and we got that 5G. We got that radio and we got that antenna and we even got that 5G. We got that radio and we got that antenna and we even got that 5G. We got that radio and we got that antenna. And in a parallel life, I build, design, create satellites, supercomputers, 5G, 3G, 7Gs, and all things telecommunication. We're now around the world, undersea world cables, undersea cables, and you see that's the 5G, that's pizza. That's the pizza shape, that's 5G, and we even got 3G here, 4G, and even 5G. My cell phone would connect here to pop straight to those 5Gs, and that's radio television. But it takes two, so now we're gonna switch to that French. Bienvenue, je suis déjà sur la montagne, votre dragon arc-en-ciel aujourd'hui. pour la nouvelle ligue de sport d'hockey féminin, 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 puis toujours la gratitude de 24 sur 24 avec du rock'n'roll. Go! L'équipe, la nouvelle équipe. Hier, ils ont commencé. Aujourd'hui, on est le 2 janvier. C'est la première marche rock'n'roll de votre dragon arc-en-ciel. La personne regarde, mais je continue mon entraînement puis mon travail. Puis je fais appel à la coopération, collaboration de style rock'n'roll. Votre androgyne pansexuel, artiste, comédien. Artiste qui danse le plus, artiste, athlète et philosophe, qui a l'Asperger's puis l'amnésie de Montréal dans une autre vie. J'ai été né direct sur l'île de Montréal. J'ai fait du bras de fer avec Louis C. Puis j'ai mis mon bras droit 7 ans en grève. J'ai dit dans une autre vie, j'ai fait du bras de fer avec Louis C. Puis il m'a mis mon bras de fer, m'a battu au bras de fer, puis il m'a mis ma main droite 7 ans en grève. Dans une vie antérieure, j'étais né direct sur l'île de Montréal, puis avec lui ici, j'ai fait du bras de fer. Puis pendant 7 ans, ma main droite était en grève. La grève a fini, une nouvelle entente sur la table qu'il y a eu. Je vous chante sur le Mont-Royal, je vous encourage à faire de l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique a été, sera mon médecine et thérapie de choix. Et je vous encourage, mais la gratitude en premier. Sur le Mont-Royal, la botte de cap d'acier. Je suis à botte de cap, à cap d'acier style militaire. Faites coopération Canada, États-Unis, États-Unis, Canada, États-Unis, Canada. Et je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique et votre conditionnement physique. Mes chers à la famille du Québec, de la belle province québécoise et québécoise de ma famille. Puis, des fois, on est dysfonctionnel, mais bon, en tout cas. Votre Québécois canadien nord-américain ici sur l'île de Montréal. Je suis sur l'île de Montréal, je sais pas. Et l'encouragement. Et je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique, tous et toutes. Et la belle province, à la danse, je vous invite. Puis, aujourd'hui, ma gratitude, j'ai payé mon loyer. J'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé mon loyer, ma facture d'électricité, mon loyer, puis j'ai de la nourriture, puis du café, puis du thé. J'ai de la nourriture, du café, puis du thé, puis j'ai du café, de la nourriture, puis du thé, puis bien sûr, j'ai de la nourriture, du café, puis du thé, puis j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité pour le mois de janvier. Le mois de janvier, j'ai payé mon loyer pour le mois. On est le 2 janvier. Premier mardi de 2024, première marche de votre dragon arc-en-ciel, l'entraînement physique. Je me sens déjà bien, je suis parti à la marche et je me sens déjà bien, encore la gratitude. Puis bien sûr, je vous encourage tous et toutes à faire l'entraînement physique. L'entraînement physique a été vraiment médecine et thérapie de choix. Bon, en vous encourageant aujourd'hui, carpe diem depuis que je suis mort de la COVID, ça va faire en 61 jours, au début de février 2024, ça va faire 4 ans déjà, 4 ans que j'ai survécu la COVID, puis la COVID est de retour, il paraît. Fait que si vous voulez augmenter l'hygiène en public puis faire de l'entraînement physique, j'étais malade, c'était comme la mort. La pestilence puis la maladie, c'était comme la maladie. La pestilence puis la mort, c'était comme la maladie. La pestilence puis la mort, c'était comme la maladie. La pestilence puis la mort, pour moi-même, je suis mort dans COVID sur l'île de Montréal, je suis en train de renaître. Puis votre dragon arc-en-ciel, androgyne pansexuel, aujourd'hui en marche pour la nouvelle ligue de sport d'hockey féminin, la ligue professionnelle d'hockey féminin, go, la ligue professionnelle de hockey féminin, go, la ligue d'hockey professionnel féminin, go, je vous encourage. La ligue professionnelle d'hockey féminin, go, je vous encourage à faire de l'entraînement physique, puis je vous invite à la danse, puis pour Montréal, puis toujours pour ma soeur anonyme, la meilleure femme au monde que je connais, j'ai fait 1 million. Je suis en dette de 10 500, mais je suis riche en bisous, câlins, chatouilles, puis je fonde mon rêve pour l'Union de l'Amérique du Nord, Nord-Américain, qu'on s'unisse, Québécois avec les Canadiens, les Nord-Américains, les États-Unis par là-bas, où j'étais né 2 fois dans une vie antérieure, puis j'ai servi les 2 fois dans l'armée des États-Unis quand je suis né. Par là, aux États-Unis dans une vie antérieure, aujourd'hui, le 2 décembre 2024, la gratitude sur le Mont-Royal. Je vous chante une petite chanson bientôt, mais encore une fois, cette marche est dédiée pour spécialement, mais pas toujours inclus les fermiers. La sécurité alimentaire commence dans les fermes de nos courges, du fromage, puis du vin, puis du jambon qui en produisent les camionneurs, les pompiers, les infirmières, les docteurs. Toujours, ma soeur anonyme, la meilleure femme que je connais, si je fais 1 million, je donne la moitié, 1 milliard, je donne la moitié, 1 trillion, je donne la moitié, mérite d'être 7 fois. Ça, le chiffre après 6, c'est 7. 7 fois plus qu'Oprah. Et toutes les 7. Le chiffre qui vient après 6, c'est 7. 7 fois, toutes les 7. Le chiffre qui vient après 6, c'est 7. Les 7 Kardashian ensemble fois 7, ça fait 7 fois 7, ça fait 49. Donc, wow! Ça, c'est la soeur anonyme. Donc, en vous invitant à la danse québécoise, avec amour du rock'n'roll, la gratitude de 24/24. Combattu plus de centrales, il faut qu'on se rende à 70. Puis les Nord-Américains qu'on s'unisse dans la République démocratique soutenait le rêve de votre philosophe, artiste, athlète. Avec double A, artiste, athlète qui a l'amnésie puis est aspi. Oui, j'ai l'Asperger, je fais partie d'une minorité, juste 1 sur 300, même pas. C'est 0,44 moins de 1%, moins de la moitié d'1%. Fait que je suis une minorité, double minorité, ça veut dire que j'ai l'Asperger, puis oui, je suis androgyne pansexuel, mais bon, je suis pas parfait loin de là dans certaines choses, je suis médiocre, je suis comme ci, comme ça, puis pas bon dans certaines choses, mais vu que j'ai l'Asperger's, un paradoxe, les choses que j'ai étudiées pendant des années, la géopolitique, la civilisation, la géopolitique, les civilisations, le sport, c'est mes obsessions. Les Aspis, ceux qui ont l'Asperger's comme moi-même, on a des obsessions, puis c'est mes 3 obsessions. La géopolitique, le sport, la danse, c'est mon sport préféré, puis les autres sports aussi. Puis bien sûr, l'entraînement physique que je vous encourage, j'en ai fait, j'ai perdu 77 livres, j'ai créé mon propre système d'entraînement physique. Puis la géopolitique, j'ai étudié pendant des années, j'ai écrit des théories, des philosophies. Puis bien sûr, j'ai étudié, puis j'ai fait de philosophie, puis en civilisation, civilisation, des études de civilisation. Et bien sûr, aussi les études de civilisation, et la géopolitique, puis le sport. La danse, c'est mon sport préféré, puis vous savez que j'ai aussi une autre obsession, la 4e dimension, l'hygiène en public. Puis, écoutez, pas parfait, moi j'ai du nettoyage à faire aussi. Le bol, il faut que je le nettoie moi-même. Le bol, il faut que je le nettoie moi-même. Il faut que je le nettoie moi-même, le bol. Le bol, il faut que je le nettoie moi-même. Puis je l'ai nettoyé ce matin. Il faut que je le nettoie plus pour le 2024. Plus de résolution. Je suis capable de faire mieux. Je suis revenu où j'habitais avant. Rien que je veux retourner en arrière. C'est mieux où j'habite maintenant. Il y avait beaucoup de moisissures où j'habitais. Il y avait beaucoup de moisissures. Où j'habitais avant, il y avait beaucoup de moisissures. De la moisissure. Puis j'ai écrit quelque chose, avoir survécu. Une blessure à la tête par une épée noire, une blessure à la tête par une épée noire, une blessure à la tête par une épée noire, puis je vais me faire une autre épée maintenant à volonté, c'est une épée avec, avec 2 serpents, un serpent noir, un serpent blanc pour la poignée, là, puis avec qui se donne des bisous avec des langues arc-en-ciel. Les deux ont une langue arc-en-ciel, un est noir, un est blanc, puis avec une épée en écarlate. Écarlate, c'est rouge. Écarlate, c'est un rouge vif. Donc, c'est ça une épée que je veux me construire en ce moment avec ces paroles-là. Je dois construire avec votre aide aussi. Donc, avec 2 serpents, un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, qui ont une langue. Ça, c'est pour la poignée de mon nouvelle épée. L'épée, avec l'accent dessus, une épée. Pas pour couper, là, pour faire la paix avec. Pas pour couper, pour faire la paix avec. Pas pour couper, pour faire la paix avec. Donc, pour la sécurité et la défense, des pompes et l'entraînement physique, je vous encourage. Donc, la nouvelle épée, un serpent noir, un serpent blanc, avec une langue, les deux ont une langue arc-en-ciel qui se donne des bisous pour la poignée, puis l'épée en rouge comme écarlate, une nouvelle épée que je veux me construire. Bon, c'est un rêve, là, parce que, bon, l'amnésie, tu sais, je me souviens pas, 7, 8 ans, 9 ans, mais me réveille, je fais des études, j'ai l'Asperger, je l'accepte, j'ai survécu la COVID, puis là, je suis ici. Le 2 janvier, je vous mets sur la table ma trinité de théorie, avec milliards de bisous que j'en ai dans le crédité de la déesse, la mère nature qui danse avec son frère le soleil qui se couche puis se lève en ce moment. Puis je vous invite à faire l'entraînement physique, des pompes. Puis je vous chante une chanson, ça que vous voulez le plus. Vous voulez rien savoir de mes bisous, rien savoir de mes chatouilles, rien savoir de mes câlins. Vous voulez rien savoir de mes bisous, de mes chatouilles, de mes câlins. Vous voulez rien savoir de mes bisous, de mes câlins, de mes chatouilles. Mais vous voulez entendre mon rock'n'roll du dragon arc-en-ciel, là. Je sais bien que vous l'aimez celle-là. Dans le bois le 2 décembre 2024, je vous invite à écouter une nouvelle chanson. Un poème pour un don. Ah ouais, pour la Ligue d'hockey féminin. Nos sœurs sa glace, nos sœurs sa glace. Je leur chante du rock'n'roll. Pour nos sœurs sa glace, je leur chante du rock'n'roll. Faut que ça fasse, regarde, millionnaire, ça donne, à charité, pelado, merci. Pour le dragon en arc-en-ciel, puis l'armée, ça va, faites-moi pas le bordel. Une chanson en mode libre, créée sur la montagne du Mont-Royal, hey, donnez donc une pièce, du vin, puis la molasse. Ça me laisse avec du miel, que je veux savoir en arc-en-ciel. Pour boire, pas besoin du miel, du câlin, du miel, du thon, du vin. Du vin, du miel, du câlin, du tonnerre, de coups de foudre. Que je vous chante en 2024, dragon arc-en-ciel, regarde, ça danse. Androgène, aspire, regarde la neige, les corbeaux qui chantent. Encourage, dragon, let's go pour l'espoir. Pour l'espoir, que ça fasse une belle en arc-en-ciel, puis regarde drette le ciel, béni pour l'hydro, pour l'électricité, voyons, et ça fasse sa glace, des patins, pis sa patine, pour le sport, la ligue, nouvelle d'hockey, ça danse, ben ouais, hey, Montréal, 2 équipes, féminin et masculin, moi je suis androgène. On a 2 équipes, féminin et masculin à Montréal maintenant. Et moi, je vous chante les deux. La main droite, la main gauche, androgène. Et on a une équipe nouvelle qui joue à soir, le 2 janvier 2024. C'est une nouvelle équipe de sport féminin. Puis de sport féminin. Puis une féminin, puis un masculin. Puis la main droite, puis la main gauche, puis ça jase, puis la main gauche, puis la main droite, puis du sport ou féminin, regarde, du sport féminin, puis masculin, Montréal, faut que ça jase. Une de l'espoir se tient par la main, les amoureux, ça danse, avec province, aux îles de la Madeleine, de l'île de Montréal, ça fasse une galerie, et envoyer la danse, cercle bisous, 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 de la déesse, faut que ça fasse un autre don en arc-en-ciel. Puis il y en a qui regardent, qui disent bonjour, mais on est déjà le soir. Le soir. Et le soir. Et s'asseoir. Et regarde une mouchoir. Que ça fasse encore une danse pour la déesse. Pour la rivière, travailleurs en construction. Qui monte sur les grues, qui fasse attention, qui regarde les fermiers dans les courges qu'on a, les courges, les patates, et du vin mousseux de la belle province du pour le nouvel an. J'ai bu, et 2024, on recommence. Ça va, c'est des fois les temps, ça va pas si bien, mais regarde, faut avoir de l'espoir, la gratitude, c'est important pour moi. Gratitude 24 sur 24, bienvenue dans mes provinces, Québécois et Québécoises. Il y en a qui sont partis à patinage, qui patinent, c'est patine, qui patinent. Bienvenue au patinage, dès que ça soit artistique du rock'n'roll, regarde, que ça fasse du bruit. Comment va, bébé, oui, que ça fasse du bruit. Mais oui, ah oui, ah oui, que ça fasse du bruit. Mais oui, ah oui, ah oui, que ça fasse du bruit. Eh oui, ah oui, ah oui, que ça fasse du bruit. Ah oui, ah oui, ah oui, du bruit, ah oui, fasse bien, pour ça donne bouge, pour ça bouge une chanson, regarde, nouvel an, résolution, plus de rock'n'roll, nouvel an, nouvelle résolution, plus de rock'n'roll, nouvel an, nouvelle résolution, plus de rock'n'roll, nouvel an, Nouvelle résolution, plus de rock'n'roll. Pour la renaissance, je vous chante, faut que ça danse, sinon je m'en vais, regarde. C'est pour la renaissance que je vous chante, faut que ça danse, sinon je m'en vais, regarde. Pour la renaissance que je vous chante, sinon je m'en vais, regarde. C'est pour la renaissance que je vous chante, sinon je m'en vais, regarde. Du bruit que ça fasse ici, par chez nous, regarde, danse. Pour la Ligue de sport, c'est patine, Montréal, on a les deux. Féminin puis masculin, maintenant on a les deux. Faut que je chante pluriel, conjugue-moi le verbe amour, ouais mais du tambour, conjugue-moi le verbe amour sans tambour, amour sans tambour, regarde, faut que ça dort l'ours, un ourson, du ciment et du béton, travailleurs en construction, et regarde, j'en ai plein millions de chansons. En mode de libre, sans montagne, regarde, c'est un aigle, pas un aigle! C'est un épervier, comme un faucon, ça donne. Puis ça donne du bisou, puis ça donne des câlins, puis ça donne enfant rire, puis ça fasse enfant blesse, puis ça donne la faiblesse. Plein de lumière, Montréal, regarde, pour l'eau vive, pour la vie, pour la renaissance. De chez nous, de la belle province, après la COVID, à la danse, regarde, faut que ça fasse ben du style, ben du nouveau style, ben des cœurs, et du chocolat chaud, ça boit donc, du chocolat chaud, ça fait du bien ce mois de janvier. Janvier, les pompiers, on les aime, regarde bien. Janvier, les pompiers, pour les pompiers, c'est là. En janvier, les pompiers, pour regarde, on les aime bien. En janvier, les pompiers, regarde, on les aime bien. En janvier, les pompiers, regarde, on les aime bien. En janvier, les pompiers, regarde, on les aime bien. En janvier, les pompiers, regarde, on les aime bien. En janvier, les pompiers, regarde, on les aime bien. En janvier, regardez, on les aime bien. Pour que ça fasse, pour que ça danse, puis regarde, une autre pièce, puis que ça danse dans une tour. On regarde bien lumière. Je veux rien savoir, ne me parlez pas d'amour. Rock and roll. There's a little dog. Plein garbie. Faut que je sois attentif pour pas que ça fasse. Pas qu'il vienne trop proche parce que c'est un chien genre qui me donne des allergies allergènes. Puis faut que ça tousse. Sinon, c'est tousse à certains chiens. Donc, il y a tous. Quand on tousse, puis que ça fasse de la tousse. Hein. Certains chiens, pas sauf les poodles par exemple. Il faut juste que je fasse très attention à certaines espèces de chiens. Donc, un beau 7 minutes de rock'n'roll, ça a bien été. Un 7 minutes de rock'n'roll. 7 minutes dans mode libre pour créer 3 chansons de rock'n'roll. Here we are, we made it to the top. Rock and roll 24/7. Du rock and roll 24/24. There's the greatest city in the world. I've never feel a moment. Down outside in nature, see those lights. Greatest city in the world. La mer, ville au monde. Greatest city in the world. Oh yeah. See those lights? See those lights? The lights of the greatest city in the world. Les lumières de la meilleure ville au monde. Security and service dragging on me 24/7. De service puis de sécurité puis 24/24. For the women's sports leagues. Pour la ligue de sport féminin aujourd'hui, cette marche est dédiée. For the women's sports leagues. Next one. 24/24. 24/7. Rock and roll for the butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, groceries, drug clerks. Et les infirmières, les pompiers, tous ceux qui travaillent dans la production alimentaire, qui font des sandwichs, des hamburgers, fries, those in the fast food, the truckers. Thinking about those truckers now. Pensez aux camionneurs maintenant. Fermiers. Truckers on the road, please strippers, give them a little bit of discounts. Go women's sports golf. Get that 50-50. Dancing Goddess Army. Dragon Army Public-Private Partnership. Calling all willing and loving to support. Faisant appel à tous et toutes de soutenir le partenariat public-privé de la Fondation pour l'armée du dragon, le partenariat public-privé pour la sécurité et le service. Philosophe, artiste, athlète, arc-en-ciel. Rainbow Dragon. Rocking it 24/7. Rock and roll 24/7. L'amour 24/24. Rainbow rock and roll loving. Love that rainbow rock and roll. Oh yeah. Giving it rainbow strong. Pro-liberal love, universal revolutionary centrist. Bilingual rock and roll, pro-travailleurs, amour. Centriste universel. Pour le partenariat public-privé for that public-private partnership. Encouraging all to work out, train, exercise. Hug like you never hugged before. Donnez-vous un câlin comme jamais vous l'avez fait avant. Et mon message principal. And watch your steps if you come here because it's icy, slippery, ice rink. Et si vous venez ici, faites attention parce que ça glisse comme un petit patinoire. Puis regardez ces lumières. La lumière que vous voyez, c'est bientôt. Bien sûr, c'est Montréal. Je suis sur le Mont-Royal. I'm on that Mount Royal. Favorite spot. And look at those beautiful lights. Montreal playing tonight that Women's Sports League. 6 teams is a good start. Pas des femmes, ça commence. I would love to see here a building of women on the line with a snake and 12 rainbow children. Well, 2 black, 2 white. The rest rainbow children right there, representing rebirth. J'aimerais savoir ici une statue d'une femme sur un lion avec un serpent, puis 2 enfants noirs, 2 enfants blancs, avec 7 enfants arc-en-ciel pour représenter la Renaissance, l'Amérique du Nord, to represent the rebirth of the collective North American civilizational complex. This North American, Canadian, Quebec right here, coast to coast, ocean to ocean, de côte à côte, d'océan à océan. Earning my meal today. Earning my meal. Thank you, farmers, food security starts with them. Our farmers, food producers. Merci les fermiers, tous ceux qui produisent nos aliments. La sécurité alimentaire commence par eux autres. Et bien sûr, yeah. Gotta get a little bit of rock and roll. Rock and roll for the lovers. On the mountain for the lovers. Lovers sliding. Some rock and roll for the lovers now. Women's sports leagues. On va faire du rock and roll. Bienvenue dans la belle province. On va faire une nouvelle danse. Pas besoin de vin. Juste des patins. Une nouvelle chanson pour le patinage. Que ça soit artistique ou comédique. Du rock and roll, regarde. Que ça soit artistique ou comédique. Des chansons, regarde. Du rock and roll. Ça roule pour le monde libre. Une chanson pour ceux qui sont en amour. Rock and roll for the lovers. We gotta get that rock and roll. Rock and roll for the farmers, for the butchers, for the bakers, for the nurses, for the doctors, for the grocery store clerks. For the butchers and the nurses. Pour les infirmières, une chanson de cette soirée du janvier. Pour les camionneurs qui camionnent, ces camionnes qui ont bien des patates, peut-être des cerises, puis des aliments, regarde, avec du riz. Hey, they got some of that rice in those trucks. Some of that rice on the roads. The truckers, here we go. For the highways, the patrols, security, we citizen roll for the firefighters and the butchers. In the States in North America, gotta give them some loving. Gotta give them some hearing. Hear this. For the truckers on the road. Some discounts and some love. Some discounts and some love. For the butchers and those in the grocery store clerks. Singing me some groceries. Singing me some melodies. Singing me for the cooks. Singing me for the fries, look. Singing me for the fries, look. Singing me for the wise shook. Singing me for the wise look. Singing me for the fries, look. Singing for the fried cook. Singing me for the fried look. Seemingly for the fried look. Seemingly for the fried cooks. Seemingly for the fried look. Seemingly for the fried cooks. Seemingly for the fried looks. Seemingly for the fried looks. Fried up in the books. Fried out in the look. We're gonna go up in the drew. And the dew of the mountain. The sipping and the sliding. And the trucking on the roads. Gotta sing a melody for them highways. For the public on the public roads. Picking up the garbage, rock and roll. For the public works and rock and roll. Switch to that French, we not be provincial. Pour les travailleurs en public. Regarde que ça patine. avec qui vide les vidanges. Merci à un ange. Et qui fasse les camions regardent dans un tour, puis ça fasse pour que ça roule de l'avance, puis un peu en arrière, que ça fasse de la belle province mélodie. Elle s'appelle Mélo, puis je dis Mélo, pour les patins, un but, voyons, que ça fasse sport féminin. La Ligue nouvelle de Montréal, je vous chante, Dragon en arc-en-ciel, un pas à la gauche, dans la droite, 2 pour 3, ça fait 7. Oups. Pas compter mathématiques, un peu patinage, semi-matisé comédique, artistique. Pas besoin de réplique, ça parle vite, mais ça fait pas lever de poids, je parlais comme ça a besoin des chatouilles avec ça. Juste parler, puis là l'amour, pas de câlins, puis des bisous, des chatouilles avec ça. Pas juste des paroles, mais des chatouilles, des agricoles, producteurs, les camions, du bras, puis du bras de fer, Louis Cyr. Avec Céline, faut que ça danse. L'harmonie, puissance, douceur, regarde. Blablabla, calvaire, lève le verre, ouais. Ça fasse une autre change pour la chance de la belle province. Rock'n'roll, puis regarde qu'on avait fait québécoise. En arc-en-ciel, la cathédrale. Cathédrale en arc-en-ciel. Regarde le ciel, bras de fer. Regarde, lance, une lance, ça danse. Ça pisse. Cyclable, des bicyclettes qui dansent. Et voilà. Rock'n'roll 24/7 is all it is with me. Creating, création libre, freestyle mode, rock and roll, here we go, let's go, rent's paid, electricity paid, got food and coffee, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé ma facture d'électricité, j'ai payé mon loyer, j'ai de la nourriture puis du café, puis on fait du rock and roll 24/24, we do that rock and roll 24/7 and we drill it and it's time to get a little bit of that drill, you know, and that's what we do, and we keep it on the right and we keep it on the left. On garde ça à la droite, puis on garde ça à la gauche, puis we drill it up. And we gonna go and up and down, puis on va puis en bas. Puis regarde, il faut que ça fasse méditation sur la science. Meditation on that science. On the doctors and the bakers, and a new light that's vigor, and a new light that's vigor, and a new light that's vigor. Nouvelle lumière de vigueur, lance vigueur. Nouvelle lumière de vigueur, bicyclette, motocyclette, 3G, 4G, 5G, 3G, 4, 5G. Sing a rock and roll with me. Singing that rock and roll song for the women's sports leagues. Let's go skate. I love it, rainbow, you know ways. For our sisters, yes. Pour les sœurs, si, les patins. Mes sœurs, mes cousines, ma famille, la belle province. Montréal se regarde, on a 2 équipes. Pour la ligue professionnelle. De sport, regarde, union, que ça soit artistique, philosophique, that philosophic and artistic, the rock and roll, we listen for the roll, we listen for the road, we listen for the hole, and listen for the hole, we listen for the trouble with the troubleshooter, Bill Gates with it, gotta skin me that Scorpio, gotta give me Joe Biden with it, gotta give me that fink from the black clock, and we love it for the rocks, that finance we got, not a law but a DRT on the table, who's with me, gotta sing it for the satellites, more satellites than NORAD, NATO, Women's Sports Leagues, let's go. Push-up slicks. Des pompes de l'OTAN vous annoncent l'Amérique du Nord. Des patines. Montréal, regarde. Pas de critique que ça soit. Pour que ça fasse bordel. Patinage de garde. 3G, ça gêne. Satellite dans les airs, comme les mains de la belle province, tous ensemble. Pour les mains patins, nous tous ensemble. Patinoire, satellite. Ça danse, regarde. Pour que ça danse, ça se fasse. Patinoire, regarde. Pour que ça danse, pour que ça se fasse. Patinoire, regarde. 3G des centrales. Une autre ligne. Oh yeah, here it is again. Here we are more again with the science. You see that, those 3G, 4G. I think that pizza shape is already 5G. Je crois que ceux qui sont déjà en forme de pizza, c'est comme le 5G. Puis bien sûr, on est ici. Puis regarde ici les satellites. Pas des satellites, mais c'est des antennes, radio television. In a parallel life, I know everything about telecommunications, supercomputers, micro. I'm a super scientist. I'm a legion, like a hybrid of scientists. In a parallel life, a hybrid type of connection. Je suis un hybride, une hybride aspect super scientifique dans la vie parallèle, puis bien sûr que je fais des choses, puis je fais de la chose scientifique. Je suis un scientifique Asperger's aussi, j'ai l'Asperger's aussi, je suis un aspect dans la vie parallèle aussi, puis je sais tout. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a à faire avec les satellites, la télécommunication, les choses de radio, puis les antennes, puis les téléphones intelligents. C'est ça que je fais dans la vie parallèle. That's what I do in a parallel life. I build satellites connected with the sun, solar, and monitoring security and defense. North American Collective Civilisation, l'Amérique du Nord de sécurité et défense, puis c'est ça qu'on a besoin maintenant. De satellites de surveillance pour la défense et la sécurité, puis encourager les gens à l'entraînement physique. Encourage citizens to work out, train, exercise. Encourage citizens to work out, train, exercise. Encourage citizens to work out, train, exercise. Encourage citizens to work out, to train and to exercise. Je vous encourage à faire l'entraînement physique. On est 2,5 millions sur l'île de Maurice, comme un petit pays, where 2,5 million people on the island. It's like a small country. So we gotta get that drill, we gotta get that drill. Your fitness journey starts today. Votre session d'entraînement physique commence dès aujourd'hui. We gotta get that North America unite. Dragon Army only for defense, security, and service. Dragon Army, North America, public-private partnership, let's go, NORAD, NATO, blah, blah, blah. Rock and roll, women's sports leagues, go. Et je veux une proposition pour la sécurité et la défense. L'armée du dragon. Pour la sécurité puis la défense, L'armée du dragon de côte à côte, de service puis de sécurité. Je suis pas parfait loin de là, votre dragon arc-en-ciel, a rainbow dragon, But it's gratitude 24/7, I want to see the children happy, joyous, secure, liberty, workout, train, exercise. Je veux voir les enfants, mais en sécurité, qui s'entraînent, qui font l'entraînement physique. That's what I love to do, and I do what I love every day, carpe diem, and open for business. Je suis ouvert pour les affaires 24/24, and that's just how I roll since I died of COVID. I understand a lot of people will rush back to COVID times, and Prive just changed. A lot died during COVID, being remodeled on COVID. Je suis en train de renaître. We gotta get that public-private partnership. Gotta get that PPP. Il faut qu'on fasse un partenariat public-privé de PWHL. And it's changed sometimes, it's not easy. I've been depressed and suicidal. 6 years ago, I got out of it. When I traveled Canada coast to coast, that got me out of depression. There's so many things to see, to do here in Canada, my family. Personally, I do not consider myself a member of a diaspora. Canada is my home, my family, and calling the Canadian Armed Forces Dragon Army, join NORAD, NATO Dragon Army. By Brian Marshall, you gotta put on the uniform, you gotta go change some diapers, man. What are you putting a uniform for? CAF. Got love for you, my brother citizen Bill Blair. Got love for you, my brother citizen Bill Blair. Got love for my brother citizen Bill Blair. But putting on a uniform and shaving your head does not make anybody entitled to fight for freedom. Vous mettre un uniforme puis se raser la tête, ça ne rend personne digne de se battre puis de défendre la liberté. La liberté, c'est nouveau, It's new, this freedom, liberty thing. Liberty got to be secured and assured. With our individual natures, yeah, I lust, I like my BDSM switch. Vous savez, moi aussi, j'ai des choses, puis je suis pas parfait, mais maintenant, beaucoup durant COVID, je suis en train de renaître, puis je mets tout sur la table, I put on the table with my rock and roll nature intensity sometimes, avec mon intensité rock and roll des fois. That's what I got. I live intense, carpe diem, blah, blah, blah. I got aggression, but my brothers and sisters, I channel it, I work out, train, exercise to harm now. Moi aussi, j'ai de l'agression, mais mes frères et sœurs, je m'entraîne. Je fais de l'exercice. La liberté, ça peut être ainsi comme, c'est nouveau, ça a des responsabilités. Freedom is liberty, it takes responsibilities a lot. Public-private partnerships, civilization is a privilege, La civilisation, c'est un privilège. La civilisation est un privilège. La civilisation, c'est un privilège. La civilisation, c'est un privilège. Civilization is a privilege. 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 La civilisation est un privilège. La civilisation est un privilège, oui. It's love Love is also part of it. Love is also part. Money is part of it. Love is part of it. Love, l'amour aussi. L'amour, ben moi c'est l'amour arc-en-ciel, puis aussi par des gestes, hein? Par des paroles. Love is also by gestures, okay? Love is also by gestures, you know. C'est par aussi des gestes, parce que pour des actions. I can love anybody who wills. Hygiene is important, consent. L'hygiène, c'est important. Le consentement. L'hygiène, puis le consentement. Le consentement, puis l'hygiène. On peut salir avec amour. We can get dirty with that love. I got that special love that I got rainbow BDSM switch, you know. L'amour, moi j'aime ça, le sadomasochisme, androgène pansexuel. Donc moi c'est un amour quand même en arc-en-ciel, puis avec consentement amour, ça. You know, like I was saying before, Canadian Armed Forces need to go change some diapers, man. Need to go spend some time reading some books to children in the daycares. Faut que je passe du temps, si vous mettez un uniforme, les forces armées canadiennes, vous mettez l'uniforme pour défendre qui? C'est pour défendre les 40 millions de Canadiens qui ont ma famille. Puis ici, du Canada, my family, Canadian capital, you gotta be a new army, dragging on my family. Nouvelle famille, that's all we got now. We are on the verge of potentially World War III. On est en verge de peut-être la Troisième Guerre mondiale, hein? Je sais pas, c'est possible. Hein? Regardez. Je l'avais prédit, hein? I predicted it, hein? Je l'avais prédit, I predicted it. I'm an aspie, so I got geopolitical obsession. So it's possible that People's Liberation Army of China invades the Republic of China. Republic of China is Taiwan. The People's Republic of China is mainland China. It's possible now that there's an invasion of Taiwan that dates back to their business of the Second World War and their geopolitical history, right? Like us, we made here in North America, we made the great linguistic compromise, French, to have continuous peace in North America, comme nous autres ici, on a fait le grand compromis linguistique de l'Amérique du Nord pour le français, pour avoir la continuité de la paix. C'est comme ça qu'eux autres, ils ont fait là-bas, leur histoire qui date de la Deuxième Guerre mondiale, avec la Taïwan, qui s'appelle officiellement la République de la Chine, puis la République populaire de la Chine, c'est l'État communiste socialiste de 1,4 milliard de personnes. C'est possible que il y ait une invasion maintenant. C'est possible, écoutez, c'est possible. J'avais prédit cette situation, pas exactement tout à fait comme ce qui se passe maintenant, mais en gros, en général, j'avais prédit en 2019 qu'il y aura des crises géopolitiques d'importance majeure, soit une troisième guerre mondiale. Puis la troisième guerre mondiale est-tu commencée? Peut-être. Is the Third World War now? I predicted this in 2019. Some say yes, it's Third World War, but it's not officially stated as a World War. But with the Russia-Ukraine geopolitical crises, Israel-Hamas, Palestine-Hamas, Palestine-Hamas, and potentially China-Taiwan, potentially Taiwan-China, potentially Taiwan-China, right? It's possible that China invades Taiwan, que Taiwan s'invadit la Chine. It's possible that China invades Taiwan. It's possible. Hey, it's possible. World War starts tonight or tomorrow, the coming days, weeks, months. C'est possible ce soir, demain ou dans les prochains jours, semaines, mois venus. La troisième guerre commence officiellement. Mais je l'avais prédit en 2019, puis that's why I call all to support the Dragon Army Initiative. C'est pour ça que je fais appel à tous de soutenir mon initiative. Ben, je suis pas parfait. Hein? Je suis un philosophe. I'm a philosopher. I'm an aspie philosopher who has obsessions, and one of my obsessions is geopolitics. And paradox of it is that I did so much studies of geopolitics that back in 2019 had concluded that humanity is again on a path towards an international conflagration. Puis j'avais conclu en 2019, quand j'avais fait une analyse, puis vous voyez à cause que j'ai l'Asperger's, puis les aspies comme moi-même, puis d'autres aspies, on a des obsessions. Puis une de mes obsessions, c'est la géopolitique. Ce qui est le paradoxe, c'est mes études en géopolitique, que ça a fait que j'avais fait une prédiction en 2019, et que ça avait donné comme qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant dans la situation actuelle. Fait que c'est rock'n'roll, mais c'est pour ça mes stratégies, puis mes propositions, c'est pour le collectif de l'Amérique du Nord, pour qu'est-ce que j'appelle le collectif de civilisation nord-américain ou le complexe civilisationnel de civilisation nord-américain. Le complexe de civilisation nord-américain, le complexe de civilisation nord-américain. Pas un complexe comme en philosophie, là, en psychiatrie, en psychologie, mais un complexe comme que ça fasse de plusieurs parties. Donc, l'Amérique du Nord, avec le Québec, on fait partie du collectif de Civilisation nord-américaine. C'est pour ça que mes propositions de partenariat public-privé, c'est pour la paix mondiale aussi. Oui, je peux être international, universel, mais ça change pas que je suis un Nord-Américain, Canadien, Québécois, puis que c'est vraiment l'île de Montréal, là, puis les bibliothèques, puis les rues, là, les rues, puis les bibliothèques, les rues, puis les bibliothèques, c'est tout ce que je connais, puis j'apprends toutes les choses. I'm a North American, Canadian, Quebecer, many past lives. I can be universal, international, but what I really know is the island, Quebec, Canada, North America, and I'm a world citizen, world peace advocate as well. But really what I know is Quebec, Canada, North America, and of course the streets and the libraries. I read tens of thousands of books, marched the streets, struggled, suffered, and here I am today, survivor, recovering, getting better every day, open for business, 24/7, ouvert pour les affaires. Yeah, I got some faults, some issues, and I admit some things I'm mediocre, but I rock and roll for the truckers now. Let's do meditation. Bilingual meditation time now. Meditation and gratitude with it. And you know, this is an event dedicated to the Women's Sports League, Women's Hockey League in particular, and women's sports in general. En particulièrement, cette marche rock'n'roll est dédiée à nos sœurs de Ligue professionnelle d'hockey, la nouvelle. Puis le sport féminin généralement, tu sais, d'une manière générale. Tu sais? Puis, faut que je retourne chez nous maintenant, parce que je suis venu, j'ai vu, je te retourne, il faut que je retourne dans ma grotte, manger, j'ai commencé à avoir faim. I came, I saw, I worked out, I trained, I rock and roll, now it's time to hit it back. Let's get it back now west. From here to my place, the route I'm going to take is another 13.3 kilometers. Keep in mind, d'ici jusqu'à chez nous, la route que je vais prendre, c'est encore 13.3 kilomètres. So we rock and roll, but now we're going to think about the truckers. You know how many truckers on the road? North America, right? The truckers now across North American Collective, Civilisation, Canada, Mexico, US. The butchers, the ones in the grocery store clerks. Les travailleurs dans les épiceries, Les camionneurs sur route. See, it's not all about Wall Street. Wall Street finished their buying and selling trade stocks. Is it open today? It opened today. It was closed yesterday. C'est ouvert aujourd'hui encore. Yeah, I don't know. Is it open on the second? See, maybe it's not. Maybe I'll just rock and roll. Peut-être c'est pas ouvert la bourse le 2, mais je pense que oui. Mais anyways, how many truckers now? Thinking about the truckers on the roads. Thinking about the nurses in the hospital across North America. Thinking about the butchers, the bakers. Les camionneurs. You know, qui sont sur la route. Faut penser, faire une méditation. Constant meditation and action since I died of COVID. February 2020, I live carpe diem and every day. Je vis carpe diem à tous les jours depuis que je suis mort de la COVID. I got amnesia, so I don't remember. I can't access memories that predate 7, 8, 9 years. J'ai de l'amnésie, fait que je peux pas accéder à des mémoires qui datent de comme 7, avant 7, 8, 9 ans, genre. Je me rappelle avoir déménagé à une meilleure place. I remember moving to a better place, and here I am now, you know. And, turning my head left and right before I cross the street. Je tourne la tête de gauche à droite avant que je traverse la rue. Puis, you know, it's gratitude 24/7. C'est la gratitude 24 sur 24. See, this is the parking lot. I'm glad a lot of people came to the mountain. Always brings me pleasure to see people holding hands, which I saw a few. Ça me rend plaisir de voir du monde qui se tiennent par la main, puis se tiennent par la main, would give you that. When I see somebody on the bikes, salute, that's a workout. Je vois quelqu'un sur la bicyclette, je salue, c'est un entraînement physique. You know, and see the horses are there, it's probably past sunset, but days are getting longer now. Les jours augmentent maintenant, tranquillement, d'une minute à chaque jour à peu près. 44 secondes. So on va voir la différence en février. We're going to see the difference in February. But, you know, to not get depressed in January, February, you got to important to stay active. And I don't mind winter. Ça me dérange pas l'hiver. You know, I don't mind 4 seasons. 4 saisons. And it's sometimes you got to get that drill. And I've been hardcore times. And, you know, I change every day. And we change. On fait du changement tous les jours. Puis c'est du changement. Puis I'm taking into consideration my own mediocrities and not being so good at some things, and also, if you can call it, a little bit of the dark side, you know, mon propre côté plus sombre, mon propre côté où je suis médiocre, et des choses comme ça, puis je l'ai moi-même, et j'y travaille. It's a constant trying to get the higher self, you know. And I know sometimes we're low, and we got that lower self, which we gotta admit. On a aussi le côté plus bas qu'il faut qu'on admette, tu sais. Des fois des jalousies, des choses comme ça, puis you know, I know what brings joy, gratitude. You know, I'm grateful and for the things that I am, and as a philosopher who's a centrist, and you know, if I criticize, I'm going to offer alternative solutions. I believe what I put to the table, especially my DRT theory, debt refugee theory, is a solution. Je pense que des fois, si on critique, il faut offrir des alternatives puis des solutions, parce que tu sais, on peut critiquer constamment, mais là, s'il n'y a pas d'action, il n'y a pas d'alternative, tu sais, il faut avoir ce côté-là aussi comme moi, l'agression, j'allais, mais je m'entraîne, mes chers Québécois et Québécoises, vous êtes de ma famille pour ne pas vous faire mal, tu sais. Je m'entraîne, je fais l'exercice, je m'entraîne, I do workout, train, exercise, so I channel my aggression to harm none. I came to terms during COVID a lot to being reborn, and you know, not all my allies in army, spiritual legions d'art family, toutes mes alliés puis armés, prêtés allégeance, vous êtes ma famille. So we got now, Montreal, Canada, North America. Yes, for world peace, la paix mondiale, we gotta get change, you know. Gotta becoming a free race, une nouvelle race de libre. Gotta get that right, man. Wow, he's going on the bike, man. That's good. See, his liberty, his joy, sa liberté, sa sécurité. Just get. He had the freedom, the liberty to go on the. I think it wasn't really a bike. It was like a Segway. C'était comme un Segway. Free to my freedom and their freedom to be in balance, you know. So that we harm none in public, and you know, it's always a public and a private balance. And pride, civilization is a compromise. La civilisation, c'est un privilège, you know. L'Hydro-Québec, l'électricité, puis all the things we achieved as a North American collective, and we got to move forward because we got a lot of work to do. See, women's sports leagues, I'm marching for them first and foremost, always and always, including my anonymous sister friend, the workers of North America, especially those who made less than 50,000. Aussi les fermiers, puis tous ceux qui ont fait moins de 50,000, puis toujours ma soeur anonyme, bien sûr, qui ont fait, you know. And, pour le sport, la ligue de sport aujourd'hui, féminin, you know, marching on these steel toes, les bottes de cap d'acier, mes chers. Ah, feels good. See those two joggers. Good for you, jog some more. Faites du jogging. Je vous encourage. Faites du jogging, c'est bon, ça fait du bon. It's good for you. You gotta get that jog. You know? Faut faire du jogging, faut faire de l'entraînement physique. You gotta get that workout, train, exercise. You gotta train, workout, train, exercise. Vous devez faire l'entraînement physique. C'est important. It's important, you know, to get that drill, and gotta get fitness. You know, fitness is important. Mind, body, and spirit. L'entraînement physique, c'est tellement important. You know, people got aggression. I feel much better after I workout, train, exercise. Mais moi-même, après que je m'entraîne, mais je me sens bien. Puis, fait du bien. You know, it feels good, man. Women's sports leagues go. My sister, cousins, citizens of North American leagues. That's what the Dragon Army is. Binary, North American, l'armée nationale, l'Amérique du Nord. North America is all I know here. I've been struggled and been depressed, died, suicidal, XYZ. I'm a centrist, androgynous, pansexual, centriste, androgyn, pansexual, universal. I see they skating now. They're having a nice, good time, you know. It's important to skate, to get those skates. We gotta get that drill. We gotta get that drill, and you gotta get a little bit with it. And sometimes you can take a little bit of left and right, and then in the center, la gauche, la droite, puis dans le centre. You see they skating, they're having a good time. That's great. That's exercise. I always love when I see people exercising or bring me joy. And I work out over time to see marching steps. First march of 2024, la première marche de 2024. If they can hug and kiss, I love it better. Si se donne des bisous puis des câlins, j'aime ça. It's a thing. I like to matchmake as well. It's matchmaking, Like I have to do a little bit of matchmaking and gotta get a little bit of that starlight. That children joyous makes me joyous. Les enfants joyeux, ça me rend joyeux. Have joy, security and liberty of the children. Children of the empire. Les enfants de l'empire. For the children of the North America, you never will be, sir. Les enfants, I got protocols I read, I studied, I put down the payment for the educational protocols. Public farmers for the Dragon Army, l'éducation, the protocol, l'éducation, everything else. For those protocols of North America, man. We gotta get that North American protocols education. Gotta get a little bit of protocols, Yeah. I gotta go get a little bit of that. Gotta go get a little bit of hydration, man. I always feel good when I see a lot of people working out. See there? They got a little bit of skates, man. They're gonna skate a lot.
Come, pardon. I think it will work somebody like me. You have to phone with you? Yeah, I do. Okay, so you got to take a picture with her. With your man. Your man hold on. Integree. Hold on, let your man hold on you.
Yeah, man, look at that skating, man. Ah, people skating, that's good. Font du patinage, je suis content. J'ai vu des enfants pleins de joie. Je suis content. I have children with a lot of joy. I'm happy. Children of the empire, les enfants de l'empire. See their security, their liberty, they enjoy to skate. I can't skate, but I can break. Je peux faire du patinage, mais je peux pas me freiner, puis pas d'argent pour les patins, no money for the skates, but hey, got steel toes and I'm happy, grateful that I do, and their joy there to skate is very good. Leur joie, ils font du patinage public, so comme that was a skating rink is full, c'était un patinage, le 2 c'était plein, fait que ça a vraiment bien fait, and people are doing good to come, and they skated, and I was happy seeing people smiling, and j'ai vu là que les gens sont contents, puis ils sont plein de sourires, and they're happy, and I'm happy, leur joie, puis c'est bon l'activité physique, et they're skating, ils font du patinage, and they're getting experience on the public skating rink, ils ont l'expérience pour le patinage en public, fait que, hey, c'est bon ça, comme aujourd'hui la marche est dédiée à mes sœurs, cousines, citoyennes qui sont dans les ligues, les 6 équipes, les athlètes, des athlètes dans la ligue d'hockey féminine. In the women's hockey league, they're athletes, and you know we came a long way, you know, with women's sports, with this new event, avec ce nouvel événement, on a fait au niveau de l'sport féminin, and you know, and we're celebrating it, and we gotta celebrate, you know, we gotta work together at the end of the day. We gotta sometimes be honest, feelings and emotions matters, and our lower self as well, avec notre côté plus bas aussi, tu sais, le subconscient, you know, like I had writings of being jealous and resentful, and hey, there's a bunny. C'est un lapin, ça. Le lapin, il va par la noire. J'ai vu un lapin. Don't worry, I won't eat you, I got food at home. Je vais pas te manger puis te chasser, j'ai de la nourriture. Mais, la nourriture, mais, regarde, hein, vous pouvez pas le voir bien dans la caméra, mais il est là, le lapin. Il est allé vite, puis là, il s'est arrêté. Un lapin avec, comme brun, avec une queue blanche. Brown rabbit with a white tail. So there he was, just slip here. We got rabbits here, that's why it's important not to pollute. On a des lapins, and now I'm heading back. Happy that I saw people skating, lots of people. The most I ever saw in this season, well, it's 2024 now, la plus que j'ai vu de cette saison, puis maintenant c'est 2024 déjà, là, fait que deuxième jour, mardi, Tuesday. So I'm happy, joyous, you know, it's important physical exercise, puis c'est important, tu sais, faire l'entraînement physique, it's important to do regular physical exercise, and to have gratitude, and to analyze our lower selves, you know. If we criticize, we propose alternative solutions, and competition sometimes is okay, and sometimes we need more cooperation, which is the public-private partnership, dans le partenariat public-privé, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon qui danse, and, you know, I live a simple, austere, severe 21st century rainbow Spartan lifestyle. Je vis un mode de vie sévère, austère et spartiate du 21e siècle. You know, just physical activity, fitness, rock and roll brings me joy. Juste l'entraînement physique, puis le rock and roll, ça m'amène de la joie. And pledge your allegiance to our family. Puis prêtez allégeance, légion, vous êtes famille. Puis c'est important de penser, puis de méditer. It's important to meditate and think, and all the things which we have, and you know, and work that to be less selfish, but not totally selfless, pour être moins égoïste, mais pas totalement sans ego. Tu sais, avoir une balance en harmonie, to be in balance and harmony. There's the drivers of the public buses, saluting the public bus drivers, the public transport, right? We got subway, we got buses, all the bus drivers now across North America in the public, les chauffeurs d'autobus, sur le transport public, and we got subways, metro system, metro stations in Montreal. We got across North America, right, on subway stations, and what is called subway or metro system, depending on try you use both. But anyways, and the construction workers, I got to rock and roll for them because I'm a fan. Building more skyscrapers, takes those cranes, right. Ça prend les grues en construction, parce que même moi, je fais le sport, l'entraînement, du rock and roll, mais we also got to cheer and be mindful of all the other things, all the trades, les échanges. Puis, qu'est-ce qui se passe maintenant, you know, put online, my work, you can see I box, I dance, I rock and roll, je fais la boxe, je fais la danse, philosophe, en geopolitical analysis, you know, and I'm on these steel toe boots now, happy, content that I saw skating rink full, public skating rink. Thank you to those who set it up, right? It's public. See that where we were now? C'est public. Service spécial, bienvenue à bord. Je pense que c'est gratuit aujourd'hui, service spécial. I think it's free today on the 2nd, or could be for the next 3 days, but I gotta double check, I'm not sure, but it said special service. Service spécial, ça disait sur l'autobus 2024, so c'est 2024, deuxième jour, 2nd of January. We just started my first march. Ma deuxième marche, you know, you gotta work, travail, so... we got a lot of work to do here in North America. On a beaucoup de travail, and this is nice work for women's sports. PWHL, pour les sports féminins. La Ligue d'hockey. Qui se passe maintenant, you know, and we gotta get that drill, you know, we gotta get that going, and gotta get that rebirth. North Americans unite, l'Amérique du Nord s'unissent. Support the dream, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Phoenix People's Party, Global Dragon Union. L'Union du Dragon Universel, l'armée du dragon, le royaume de la déesse et du dragon. You know, I do it raw and edited, that's the channel. Sometimes you gotta do too much editing, it's no good. You gotta get that drill on the go, you know. Got every second, split second supercomputers, super ordinateur, microsecondes, nanoseconds, man. Got a super micro, nanoscales. So nano, you gotta get that nano and that micro. You gotta get up, you gotta go down. Coming from down, going up. Going back to my headquarters, retourne chez nous maintenant. Going by Westmont again. Intersection, this is newly built. This is new, man. Consent, man. You got 13 seconds, 11, man. See 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and it's yellow, says Rona. Just in time. Just à temps. Oh, yeah. I like that. Just in time, just in time. You know, this is public works. The highways. We got a lot of bridges to fix, eh? Not beaucoup de ponts. We got a lot of bridges, man. Bridges need fixing. Roads. We got potholes across North America. I got a lot of work. Infrastructure, man. Look at that pothole. I could damage a wheel right there. That's... Wow, you see that? Vous voyez ça? Un nid de poule, là. Je sais pas si c'est visible sur la caméra, mais il y a beaucoup de nids de poule. L'infrastructure, hey. My protocol's best. Mes protocoles mieux. Gotta get that public-private partnership for the 21st century. Brains and muscle. Des muscles de cerveau, you know. Still takes sometimes of that old school with it, eh? Ça prend un peu de la vieille école avec, hein. Takes a little bit of that old school with it, eh? Ça prend un peu de la vieille école, you know? Till you get there to get back clean. Hey, get that 21st century, build more satellites. Construire plus de satellites. Coast to coast supercomputers monitoring 24/7. North America, l'Amérique du Nord 24/24. Up above, build more satellite supercomputers for the UE, Universal Exchange, et especially pour l'échange universel. Calling all institutions and organizations. Toutes les institutions et les organisations. Yeah, I'm far from being perfect. Je suis pas parfait, loin d'être parfait, mais hey, I march, I offer services. Security and service is all what I'm about, Dragon Army. Service for the sécurité. 21st century. Here's a little going in the woods, man. It's a little woods here. Got une petite forêt là, on va vers Westmount encore. Gonna get in that Westmount. Let's go PWHL. Ah ouais, pour le Professional Women's Hockey League, man. You gotta get... I'm gonna read more, but... Read more about it. I know a little bit, I got some financing good, and... Peu de finances, mais je dois lire encore plus, mais... think they got something unionized players, which is kind of good, and comme union, comme des joueurs, and got a multi-year, several all-team inclusive contracts, multi-years. That's a special, not exactly like the NHL, probablement comme la Ligue d'Hockey Nationale, you know, and the salaries, of course, are not that even close there, eh? The salaire, there's no women's sports league that means like the 4 major sports leagues of North America, comme les 4 ligues majeures de sport qui sont masculins, tu sais, faut le dire, puis c'est ça qui est ça, mais faut qu'on fasse notre part, tu sais. Il faut qu'on travaille ensemble, puis on fait du progrès, you know, progress, and sometimes change to blood, sweat and tears, des fois le changement par, tu sais, puis par la souffrance, puis moi-même ayant souffert beaucoup, puis me too, I suffered, I struggled, and here I am, you know, gotta get that love, man. Love, you know, love is also actually amour, c'est aussi l'action, you know, I like to matchmake. Very cool, mais I do it free, you know, BDSM, rainbow, love, free, and friends with benefits, moi je fais ça avec amis avec bénéfices, and de sadomasochisme en mode libre, puis c'est ça qu'on fait, you know, and gotta get that drill, and I gotta get on that up and up. And now we're gonna hit that Westmount. On se rend au Westmount. We're entering the richest, most affluent neighborhood in Montreal, Canada, North America and the world. On rentre le plus riche, hein? Quartier en Montréal, Québec, Canada, Amérique du Nord, mais même dans le monde. And again, greatest woman I know deserves to live in a house like this. Cette anonyme mérite d'habiter dans une maison comme ça, comme ici, à Westmount, on that Westmount. And, you know, we hit it on the grill. Thinking about the truckers now, seeing the truckers already put in more marching steps than all the generals of NATO combined. J'ai déjà mis plus de bottes à cap d'acier que les généraux du monde libre combinés déjà jusqu'à maintenant. And I started the video a bit later after I've left my headquarters, which is one of the ground room of St. Temple Dragons there. Je suis parti de ma grotte de dragon arc-en-ciel après que j'ai fait des pas, puis que j'avais fait plus de pas de ma grotte de dragon arc-en-ciel, puis ça faisait déjà un bout. J'avais sorti comme... Yeah, but I didn't start right away filming, but here I am now. What time it is? 5:51 p.m. 5:51 p.m. Hopefully somebody's hugging now. I don't know when the game starts, but I'm going to probably check the highlights later on tonight and the news after 9:30 for game 10 o'clock. Peut-être regarder Montréal PWHL League. I have a channel on YouTube. Je pense qu'il y a un post sur YouTube, and just gotta get that watch, man, and gotta get that watch, and we gotta encourage, you know, we gotta work together for qu'on s'encourage, puis faut qu'on fasse, puis here I am in Westmount, drilling it, thinking about the farmers, butchers, bakers, nurses, doctors, grocery store clerks, pensons aux camionneurs, les infirmières, tous ceux, bien sûr, qui travaillent dans la sécurité publique, les ambulanciers, bien sûr, qui sont ici et qui méritent d'habiter dans une maison comme ça, mais c'est ma soeur anonyme. Greatest woman I know that just live in a house like this, and next to this house is a house that's been left decrepit for more than 7 years now. Every time I pass, it's been more than 7, 8 years, almost 8 years now. In passing, maybe more than that, but it's been left like this for at least 8 years. Next to this house is another house. There's not even lights, but if you help, I believe it's between 57 to Belvedere and 53. So this house here between 57 to Belvedere and 53, 7 to Belvedere and 53. So here it is. Ça, c'est une maison à côté de l'autre qui a été laissée comme ça entre 57 de Belvedere et 53, qui a été laissée pendant proche de 8 ans déjà, qui est comme ça, il n'y a pas de lumière, puis a besoin de l'amour, puis a besoin de beaucoup d'amour, puis de peinture, mais on pourrait faire notre maison, we could do our house. You know, we could do our house there, we could do our house there. You know, we could do our house, and it can be our house, and we can make it a house, a red house. We can paint it red with some green, and a bit some red and some green, and we can paint it some of those pillars. Les piliers, on peut les peinturer. We can paint the pillars, but here it is, the house. See, here is Belvedere Place, Place Belvedere, Place Belvedere, and see Belvedere, B-E-L-V-E-D-E-R, Belvedere, next to that house. So between these houses, so that's 53 Belvedere, and that's 57. Ça, c'est 53 Belvedere, l'autre, c'est 57. Fait que là, la maison, tu vois, on voit pas parce qu'il n'y a même pas de lumière, elle n'est pas allumée, there's no lights. So I wonder, it's been like that for many years, but with love, we can recreate it. Avec amour, on va pouvoir le faire. Ça faisait des années comme ça, mais with new light, I can do it for my anonymous sister, pour ma soeur anonyme. I can see her living in one of these mansions here, and myself in that one. Ma soeur anonyme dans une maison ici, puis moi-même ici. Fait que c'est au coin, sur Westmount, here Belvedere and Belvedere Circle. Belvedere Circle, Belvedere Circle, Belvedere Circle. And here we are, and we're on the Westmount, Mr. Westmount, and gotta get there. Queen of Heavens, starlit, la reine du ciel, qui nous chante au regard des étoiles. So, go, PWHL, go. As I pass through this Westmount, quand je passe through this Westmount, regardez, c'est Montréal, là-bas. C'est les lumières que vous voyez, c'est Montréal, les chutes. Those lights there. Past our Montreal, see? Passing through Westmount now. Going west. On s'en va vers l'ouest. Nord, sud, est, ouest. On s'en va vers l'ouest. Look at those beautiful green lights on the house. Isn't that cool? C'est cool, ça. Les lumières, les petites lumières sur la maison. Really nice. So yeah, from here is about an hour and a half. À peu près 1h30. Maybe 2 hours even. Even peut-être 2 heures d'ici, ça dépend. At this pace, an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours. 2 heures maximum, 1h30 à peu près. And c'est jusqu'à chez nous, from here to my place, and a good 11 kilometers, more than 11, the route that I'm gonna take, plus que 11 kilomètres, parce que je connais le chemin, c'est pas le plus long, mais c'est pas le moins long non plus. It's not the easiest, it's not the shortest, but it's not the longest anyway, so it's kind of in between, kind of in between. C'est à peu près dedans, c'est pas le plus long, mais c'est pas le plus court non plus. So it's not the longest, and it's not the shortest, right? So it's kind of in between, as we drill it up now and going west. We're gonna be on sunny side soon. So from Belvedere, we're gonna be on sunny side. On va être sur sunny side, Belvedere, and there you can see the lights. You're gonna see part of the mountain because we're on Westmount. We're one of the peaks of Mount Royal, near Westmount. Here, turn your heads left and right because sometimes they come from there. The cars, des fois, ils viennent par là. Ils s'arrêtent pas comme faut. Fait qu'il faut être prudent ici. À l'intersection, you gotta be prudent. At that intersection, right? Prudence. I have a little bit of prudence, man. Gotta have a little bit of prudence, man. Avoir de prudence, man. Gotta be a little bit prudent with it. So. Gotta be prudent with it, man. I like that green lights. J'aime ces lumières vertes. It's so beautiful. I feel good. Go PWHL, go. Ah oui, la ligue de hockey. Regardez ces belles lumières. Look at those beautiful lights. And just appreciate on the daily. J'apprécie constamment. Puis we gotta learn, and learning is a constant. L'entraînement, faut apprendre constamment, puis gotta be grateful. Avoir la gratitude, and civilization is a privilege. La civilisation, c'est un privilège, and we got that mindfulness. And here's another 14 Sunnyside. Here's another mansion which is left like this. It's very big, half red, half green. Sur 14 Sunnyside, un autre, un petit palais, grosse maison. Ici on pourrait avoir la moitié rouge, la moitié verte. Puis bien sûr je m'en vais vers ma grotte, loin d'ici. My lair is far from here, but nothing that I want to go back to. But it's better where I live now. Where I used to live was lots of mold, so I'm healing now, I'm getting better. Yeah. Où j'habitais avant, il y avait beaucoup de moisissures, puis maintenant je me guéris, je me sens mieux, puis toujours l'entraînement physique, puis la gratitude, and you know, sometimes you gotta get that joy of strength, you know, joy of strength, vigueur, puis like I said, I live a simple, austere, severe 21st century rainbow dragon.